some planning.
Yes, we'll say hello to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, internet.
Hey, everyone.
Good,
Welcome to another... That's right. Welcome to another episode of Shadowrun, Siamese Serpents. Perhaps our penultimate episode. One of my favourite words. Right up there with umbral. So here we are, but not as good as Paradigm. Anyway, moving on. We have attempted an assault, a direct assault on the facility known as the farm. Nominally a crocodile farm, but it appears to have been converted into some kind of cybernetic cybernetic veterinary surgery. Anyway, whatever it is, we attempted a full-scale assault onto the facility, only to be repelled. Now, it might have been that we didn't have to retreat. It might have been that we could just drive the freaking tank straight into the wall of the place. But such a crude attempt would have come at an extremely high risk. There would be every chance that they have some sort of trap laid for us, or simply that our calculations were flawed, and all might have been lost. In any case, it was a battle that I think that we can say that we won. The body count on their side is pretty damn high, and considering their units cost about 50,000 million per troll, we've inflicted $500,000 worth of damage on them.
And our main objective was to kill the mage, which we did.
Good point. Our main objective, kill the mage. We did that. We brought Death Roll Under Fire, which was a bonus, although we weren't able to capitalise on that completely. We tried. Didn't quite work out. We also discovered the presence of Long March, or at least of some highly skilled sniper with powerful but not powerful enough weapons. So yeah, all in all, it sounds like a relatively successful guerrilla attack, but it only brings us marginally closer to our final objective. Not that we've ever really established what that objective actually is. So I'll hand it over to you now as we discuss the way forward, what we hope to achieve, and how we measure success.
All right. I've said it before, and I'll just broach it again as I see it. Basically, our two options are: we do a sort of stealthy operation, try to slip in under their guard, extract Chef, maybe get the Sasquatch Cyberdoc too for a bonus, get them out of there, and then we're free to do anything we like to the compound, from up to drop a bomb on it. Alternatively, if we don't care about that, we can just attempt like a direct assault somewhere to the airport. Get some big attack ready, like the mortars, set them off, and then just hit them with everything we got. Maybe try to get some prisoners for interrogation if we can, or if anyone is an option C.
I suppose we could try to figure out, because you're saying Chef's reasonable, but we do have someone who might know. We could talk to Brang and see what she knows about them.
Yeah, well, it doesn't particularly matter if he's reasonable now. We've got that spell of yours. As long as we get him alive, we can get most of what we want to know out of him. I'm just choosing him because he seems to be the guy here that would know the most.
Don't forget the Kinsu.
The what?
The fox girl.
Yeah, the Kitsune. She's his girlfriend and seems to have some connection to the axe. And yeah, like considering she's probably his local hoe, I doubt he's gonna have a major attachment to her. But I mean, he did make a test or a text sort of implying he did, so we could always lean on her so long as we get him alive.
We don't have to lean on her, but she knows
Or
how to
rather, we
contact
use
him, right?
yeah, theoretically, but we already tried giving him an out, and he put our messenger's head on a spike.
Granted, but I mean, now the mage is gone. Did we kill Death Roll?
Oh, no, we didn't. When I found out, like, earth spirits can't, like, mess with the ground and things, it's not one of their powers. Which is weird.
And we fucked up some of their elite guys. And we put a serious hurt on their shock troops.
Yeah, there's, like, 8 dead, and we left 1, like, mind-controlled. Like, so we're not sure how many more he managed to kill.
So yeah, he might be more
He shrugged off the mind control.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Yeah. He was tripping on drugs. They buffed up his willpower.
Well, I mean, like I said, last time we sent someone to him, he might have been still kind of pissed off about the drugs.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially since we sold it back. Like, he knows exactly what happened. Sold it to them.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like I said, now we've shifted the power balance at the farm quite a bit.
Substantially, yeah, but based on the number of people in there, I'm guessing that even if he wanted to, Chef's not in a position to slip out. I mean, these trolls may work for him, but I don't know. He seems confident. I don't particularly want to go for another offer, but there's not a ton of harm in it, I suppose.
I mean, it's
I mean,
what do you call it?
admittedly, Long March is overlooking the compound. If Chef tries to slip out, there's a good chance she'll pop him. And he probably knows that. I mean, hell, it may be why she's part of why she's here.
Do we want to try to hunt her down?
It could be a good option, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, that will free up a lot of other options, regardless of what else we decide to do. Not having her around, good for us.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that she's outside the compound means so long as we can spot her, as long as we can locate her, like, her ass is hanging out. Problem is she's super fucking dug in. Like, best option I can come to mind with is getting my plane like a kilometer and a half overhead, stealthing and trying to pick her up with the sensors. But that's a long shot, I think. It'll be a hard fucking test with some penalty. You know, but aside from that, I can't think of, like, aside from just marching through the woods, which would give us a give her every opportunity to snipe us.
Say that last part again. I was a little confused.
The only other options I can think of are, trying to manually search the woods like on foot, which would just give her every opportunity she could want to snipe us. Or maybe we could have Fenway call up a couple spirits and ask them to, sort of search the place in like concentric circles or whatever until they find her.
I mean, yeah. I think that part probably I mean, there can't be too many people sitting in the area that she's shooting from, right? Like just
Yeah.
at that range. We kind of know the range, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's within a kilometer of the zoo.
Yeah. Well, we did peg her perch. I almost guarantee you she's moved by now. But
Well, yeah,
we
that's
know
what I'm saying though. But
we know the range of her
that's the
rifle.
range.
Yeah.
But
Well,
did we like
she-
shoot at her or anything?
No, but it's just common sense. Like after you've shot it, multiple times with a sniper perch, you move to a new one.
That's part of the doctrine, and has been for probably 70, 80 years.
Yeah, she may employ a clever twist and remain in her previous hiding spot, knowing that we'll know that. But maybe she thinks they will think that.
Be much more likely she'd mine it.
Yeah, something like that. Booby trap it.
Because it's really common to try to find where they shot from anyway. To try to see if they left anything. Try to learn something about them.
So yeah, so we have Fenway call up a couple spirits and have them try a search.
Okay, like what force do you think I'll need?
Very low.
Yeah. Well, it'll have to make a sensing check, won't it? And she's probably using some form of astral recon or astral cover, like covering herself in vegetation or something like that to sort of mask her aura. So we may want something that'll be good at detecting, and we really only need one because we know the range of her rifle, and we can just say search around the area until you find her.
It doesn't have to be on the astral, right?
Yeah, but she's probably much more hidden on the physical than in the astral.
I mean,
And even then, like we want it to have a good perception roll. Yeah, like once we've pegged her perch, like unless they've got astral recon, which I think we just took out, she's not going to know we've ID'd her position, and then we can sort of move in on her at her leisure. So it doesn't matter if Fenway's taking a couple points of drain.
well, no, I mean, yeah, we're willing to wait. They will find her eventually, or they'll find someone. So, and we know that she has cyber legs.
Yeah, we can. You can identify the presence of cyberware within a sensing check. So yeah, we can specify like find someone with 2 cyber legs.
I mean, probably any cyberware will do. Like the only other like snipers in the forest will probably won't have cyberware on them.
I don't want to waste a service because like a troll was taking a piss or something.
I just think
It's
like if you
probably
make
good
it
enough.
specific, what if like find
I
someone
think
with
it's like
cyberware but
you
fails to
want
identify the
to have
cyberware?
anyway. It just tells you how much essence they have.
And a sensing can tell you the presence or location of cyberware implants.
You can't tell where? Yeah, okay, cool. Wasn't sure.
So 4/6 spirit then.
Yeah. Yeah, it only needs 2 hits on it. Actually, if it's Deltaware, that's actually really hard to sense. She's probably has fucking Deltaware. Yeah, probably just specify look for someone hiding.
How is it gonna tell us where it is?
Can we ask the spirit to look for the rifle?
Spirit doesn't know what a rifle is.
Yeah, they do. They're not idiots.
Spirits don't know mortal things for the most part. They're not dumb. They're not human. They're not from our world. A spirit of man might.
They have really
But
high
a beast spirit is not gonna know what a fucking rifle is.
No, but he'll know what a technological object is.
And you could probably like show them like the object and say, "Find me something like this," because they are intelligent, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I think it'd be better to look for the person than trying
Okay.
to
Spirit is hardly intelligent.
Couldn't
Yeah.
Fenway just do
tell
it?
a spirit what a rifle is.
mean,
He can astrally project and search, yeah, but is a sensing. Well,
I suppose like me and a spirit can do it.
yeah. You could do it yourself and just have the spirit follow you around and tell you if it sees someone.
Well,
Basically,
no,
like it
no.
follows you around and makes its own checks.
And the thing you could do with that is if you're there, once you confirm that it's her, you can just have the spirit.
Yeah, materialize and fuck her up. Yeah, it's not a bad plan so long as like you could even do something like call up like 2 Force 2 spirits. Like you'd be pretty drained if you get a bad roll, but you know you could have them both follow you around making checks with the orders. You know, if somebody or you know once we've identified our target, materialize and attack them, and you know as long as you don't get like jumped in the astral, you know there's no real risk to you.
I'm telling you, he'd be better off summoning like a Force 7 and just taking one.
Probably his call.
Because I've already got a bound one, so I have an unbound and a that's like 2/4/6 spirits.
Oh yeah, he's already got the bound one. So yeah, you could call up one like a 7/1 and then have the 6/1 back him up.
Yeah, I've got one edge, so I think I'll try to summon a 4/7 spirit.
Godfather, we get the fucking med kit ready.
Four. I am best mage.
Eh, 4 hits on 14 dice isn't awful. It's subpar. I mean, 14 dice total is pretty good.
Ah, we need to reroll that one. Not with edge.
Nice.
Cool. Arctic. Oh,
Muted.
he's still reading the thing.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise I was muted. Yeah, it got 2 successes on its resistance, 2 net hits.
Okay. So I have 3 services.
Fuck yeah, you do, and you don't even break a sweat. So yeah, been in order something like search the area.
Oh, I have 2
for-
bound spirits.
Yeah, let's work out the phrasing of this order real quick, because it's important. Because spirits have to be given pretty literal directions most of the time.
They're both beast spirits, aren't they?
All 3 of them are beast spirits.
And what optional powers did you choose for it? It was 4/6, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think I
would recommend maybe the search power.
I'll pick that one then.
Sounds like a good choice.
Well, we're searching for someone. I recommend the search.
Have you considered Google?
I think Fenway's the type of person who uses Bing.
Yeah.
That's why he's so bad at computers.
Presumably we're doing this at like dawn, the day after the operation. None of us
Sounds
got
good.
wounded, right?
Yeah, I
'cause
guess it's
spirits
important.
last until sunset. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbound spirits, that is.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, about search the area around the compound. Don't let yourselves be seen by any of its occupants. Find find a humanoid creature hiding in the woods within a kilometer of the compound.
Actually, for the unbound one, he'll only get 1 service if he sends him out.
Oh yeah, it's a remote service.
Unless he goes with him.
I was saying, could I just go with it and have it
Oh yeah,
give it
yeah.
an order just to search the area around me while I'm walking around?
Yeah, that works too, because you got no drain and 3 big ass fucking spirits backing you up. And if things get
you do
bad,
not want to go
you
there.
can just hightail it back to your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, astrally project and have them follow you.
All right. So that's the plan then?
I think so. Yeah, to find a
so,
target,
yeah.
the critter makes a magic plus intuition, 5 every 10 minutes, extended test. Lots of things can make this harder. Yeah, apply the appropriate modifiers from the search modifiers table.
Search modifiers.
Yeah.
Like environmental
Okay.
modifiers.
On the next page.
What page?
Oh, yeah,
So
here's
the target is non-living object or place plus 5 threshold. If the target is more than a kilometer away, you add the number of kilometers to the threshold. If the target is hidden by the concealment power, you subtract the concealer's magic. If the target is hidden behind a mana barrier, you subtract the barrier's force. I don't know if any of those will apply. You also, the spirit has to know what it's looking for, which means you need to be able to show it a picture. I think we were sent a picture in the dossier that we were given, or that we found.
So I guess what's going to happen is I'm going to tell it to search near me for Long March, and I'll just.
We'll take it to the compound and say search this area.
Yeah, because that's within a kilometer, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the range of a rifle is just over a kilometer.
Well, keep in mind that she was able to shoot past. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she was. Considering she was shooting over the length of the compound, she's probably closer than that, so that she can shoot an approach on the other side if it happens. So yeah, she should be well within a kilometer of the compound.
And it's magic plus intuition.
You'll be at -5.
And it has 12 dice.
Pretty good.
That's before the minus. So it has
Don't
a 7
forget,
dice.
the die pool reduces by 1 every time you roll.
Yeah, so I'm going to roll 7 first.
Also,
Mhm.
you can spend your edge on the spirits.
I have
test.
no edge anymore. I
Okay.
think I spent 1 last time. And I just spent 1.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna roll 7 dice, then 6 dice, then 5 dice, then 4.
You've had a night's sleep then since then, though, haven't you, Fenway?
I mean, he certainly could. Like,
Fenway?
we could wait the night.
Well, that's 5.
That should be a hit, or that should be a location.
Hmm. Yeah, she's
So
buried.
30 minutes.
She's buried in the in a new position, basically in the position that you guys were coming from. She's put herself. Are we on the? Am I on the same map? You're on the same map. Yeah. Yeah, she's buried herself around about here, closer to the edge of the compound. But yeah, she's under about 2 or 3 feet of earth. You could call it a bunker if you want to, but that's a bit of an exaggeration. It's more like a wombat hole.
Like it's made of earth.
That's right, made of earth, and it's got like as you know, the whole place around here is fairly swampy, fairly wet. She's chosen a relatively elevated position, like a headland in between two rice fields, and has just made a dugout within that headland. Yeah, just a little rabbit warren.
I suppose I'll just tell the rest of the team that I found her.
Alright, where at?
I'll like point it out on the map. I think I put a little I X'd it, but it's green on green, so it might be a bit hard to see.
Lol.
Alright, we got her dialed in. So I think she's our next target. How do we want to do this?
Spirits on her.
I think I'll dispatch my fly spy to just keep an eye on her position and alert me if she leaves it.
The fly spy will reveal that she's not alone. That there are trolls, within 50 meters of her on 2 or 3 different sides.
Alright. Are they like dug in or just kind of
They're on patrol with their iron buffaloes nearby, so not dug in really at all. They have primitive kind of defences, but not much more than a tree trunk and maybe a few sheets of corrugated iron. Certainly nothing that's going to stop bullets of your power.
Alright. Well, we've got a bunch of mortars. We sneak up alongside maybe like the west end of the compound because mortars have range of like several kilometers, right?
Yeah, but she'll just
No
come back
idea.
with 2 cyber arms.
Not if we
Depends
launch
what kind of mortars
4
they are.
high explosive grenades on her.
Are we not having the spirits do anything?
Yeah, could I just have them like, because that would be a surprise, wouldn't it? Like a surprise round if they just appear around her and attack.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You could just give them the order like just to appear, attack once, and then disappear. Like 3 spirits attacking should be enough, I think.
Yeah. Only problem is if she does survive it somehow, like
I guess we'll
she's gonna
reveal
be
that.
looking out for
And I suppose we'll
being
reveal that
spotted by
hand as well.
spirits in the future. Yeah, a little bit that we're trying to
Why would
pin
you
her
have
down.
them go for one round and then stop?
Because it's a service per round.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a service but the entirety of a combat.
Yeah, that is correct.
The entire combat thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe. Yeah. Can't even remember where I read that. So yeah.
But yeah, I would just send them in there.
All right. Yeah, you got 2 4-6s and a 4-7. Good chance they'll at least drop her before those trolls can get involved.
I mean, yeah, no, they're gonna. This is gonna be a bad day for her.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to do this?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I suppose I'll use my 3 spirits and give them the order to like just materialize around him, like, I guess kill her. Do you want her alive?
All right.
Or we're just killing her?
Kill her.
Okay, I suppose kill her.
Last time we lowballed her, she came back with cyber legs.
So would you say 2 4-6s and a 4-7?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Yeah, well, she's not very well equipped for hand-to-hand combat. She's not ill-equipped, but she certainly specializes in long-range weaponry. I'm not sure how to do this without, turning it into a combat, which I certainly don't want to do.
I suppose I'd have like a surprise round at least, and we can just do the 3 attacks, and if she's still alive, like, yeah.
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, let's see how the initial
What's melee
Initial
combat
thing.
again for like a spirit? It'd be like force plus something.
usually force times 2 usually, but yeah. Anyway, I won't. Yeah.
Oh, what was it?
You have to roll a surprise test to see if she can defend against their attacks.
Okay.
Yeah, have you got the beast spirit stats?
I think there's a
Somewhere.
beast spirit there, and it's statted for 4-6. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it is. So what's the supplies check?
Sorry.
So,
I thought Long March was going to do like some sort of supplies check.
yep,
Yeah,
I've made
she's
her roll.
Okay, and I'm just magic times 2, right?
Yeah, basically. Actually, if they're physically manifested, they use their agility, right?
Yeah, it should be the
So it's
skill would be
force plus 1 plus force.
Okay, so 13.
Yeah, 13.
It's more than she gets.
And that's the 3 spirits.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, she will detect. She'll detect 2 of them.
I thought, no, these are the melee attacks, I think.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the surprise test is against a threshold of what is it, Ricochet?
I think it's 3, I think.
Yeah, I think it's always a threshold of 3. That sounds right.
Right. Oh, right. Well, she got 3, so that's a success.
Yep. So she has the opportunity to defend.
It looks like
All
only
right.
one spirit got a good attack.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, that last one should technically have 1 more die.
Oh, okay. I'll roll 1 more d6 for it.
She has a pretty big disadvantage to dodge as well. She has a lot of cover, but virtually no maneuverability, being in a tunnel like she is.
and like 2 elephants and a panther just appear around her.
Yeah, and she evades the last 2 attacks, but not the first, not the more successful one, which she only gets a single success on a defense against.
All right.
So you said you did add the +1 to their agility, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I already
Yeah.
told them. What's their damage? It's unarmed, right?
Yeah.
Strength plus net hits.
Force +2.
So yeah. On one of the it was the 4/6 that hit, so 8 plus 6, 14 damage. And I think it's stunned technically. Unless you gave it like a natural weapon.
I think I did. I can't imagine what other power would have given it.
Yeah, concealment, confusion, noxious breath, venom.
Because I gave them search. I have one more, I guess, then. I could have given.
4/6, you can give them 2 optional powers, yeah.
I guess I'll go with the weapon then.
Have you worked out how much damage it is? Sorry.
Force +2. No, 0 AP.
0 AP. No worries.
Plus net hits, so 8 plus 6 is 14. 0 IP.
All right. Resist 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On how much damage was it?
14.
9. It's not going to take her out immediately, but the writing does seem to be on the wall. She's not going to be able to fight off all 3 at once. It'll immediately get the attention of the trolls, however, nearby, and they'll start laying into it. To prevent this deteriorating into a solo combat that could take 45 minutes.
So what's the chance of
that's a big one,
the trolls even damaging these spirits? 'Cause I thought they were pretty tough.
Do have immunity to normal weapons.
They inflict a fair bit of damage, though, these guys.
Yeah, it counts as hardened armor technically. So even if they hit, like it's yeah, they're basically on equal armor footing with these guys in mil spec.
Yeah, right.
Not quite because
shit.
it's lesser, but you know.
They do 14p. They've got like 6 penetration or something like that. Yeah.
They would. I mean, they would be able to damage them.
Yeah, I think so.
Likely not enough. I mean, if you're looking to not make this into a numbers game,
Yes.
the odds of them being able to damage the spirits enough to prevent a second series of attacks,
Yeah. It's 0.
Very small.
The only thing is, and I suppose it doesn't matter too much since it's the end of the campaign, but for every spirit that die, Fenway loses XP.
I mean, I was just about to say maybe like just say one of them like dies, but we get like her.
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, all right, we'll move on and we'll say the plan is a success. You annihilate her in her position, you crush her into smithereens, but it costs you one of your spirits who are slain in the crossfire.
My bad. I keep forgetting you have that quality, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, using spirits is always risky. I mean, it's called a negative quality for a reason. It's supposed to come into play.
Yeah, exactly right. And most negative qualities often do not come into play. So you've been
It's
not unfairly targeted, but
To me, there's no point taking negative quality if you just take it so it doesn't like come up.
Good. Yeah.
I think it's 2 karma, I think. If I look it up.
I think it's just 1.
I think it's 1, but I'm not sure. 2 sounds pretty rough. I think it's 1.
1 point.
Mm.
Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. I'll just say, well, we got her.
Yeah. Yep. You got her.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got her. All right. So with her out of the way, maybe we've taken a theoretical gun off the back of these people's heads. So if we want to, we can try to give Chef one more chance to turn himself over. We want to, we can use his girlfriend for that.
Like I said, I was just thinking, yeah, his girlfriend probably knows how to get a hold of him.
Yeah. Do we want to just ask her to convey the message, or do we want to, kidnap her and leverage her as we deliver the message?
That could put us in the middle of a Yakuza problem also.
I mean, there's a decent chance. I mean, it seems like the Axe have got some kind of. I mean, just the fact that she's fucking Chef, I don't trust the Yakuza to not try to kill us when we show up.
I mean, Trey's okay walking into that.
Okay, so if they do try to kill us, we go with the
We
leverage
kill
plan.
all of them. Except her, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Works
Trey's
for me.
actually probably pretty excited about that.
Yeah, let's go meet ourselves with a kitsune, I think.
All right. Well, you know where they are. They've got a karaoke bar here in town. What's the process of interacting with her?
Oh, just point of order. I leave my drone at the compound to keep an eye on it. My little fly
All
spy.
right. All right. Yeah. Okay. No worries. I'll try to remember that.
Yeah, just basically to alert me if anybody comes or goes. So yeah, we want to just roll up, ask for a normal meeting, and if they try to jump us, we jump them back.
Considering
Did we get a
we're
code last
expecting
time?
an ambush, are we all going, or are we just sending combat people in?
A good chance this won't be a combat, but I think 50-50 chance it will be. Maybe you ought to wait wait outside Fenway just in case, so you don't get caught up.
Okay, if you think that's safer.
Yeah, don't want another monkey to burst out of a bathroom.
Or should I give one of you increased reflexes to help with the fight? With a potential fight, I mean?
Yeah. Ricochet or someone could use it probably. Yeah, I mean, only problem there is if they got a mage sensing us, it looks like we're there for a fight, but yeah, there's 6 of them.
And I don't need to worry about force since I'm sitting outside, so I guess I'll do a force 6, increased reflexes on him. Does that make sense?
Yep. Nice. 2d6, right? Yeah, pretty stunned. Not
Each
bad.
hit, so it's a +4 initiative plus 2d6. I think.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then I'll wait outside.
Yeah, so go in, ask her to put in touch with Chef. If she doesn't comply, we take her and leverage her. Sound good?
I don't. I mean, I know you have a hard on for getting Chef, but if we try to kidnap her, we are definitely going to have a fight on.
Might piss him off. There's a good chance of that, but if he has an attachment, that's something we'll hold.
I think we
Unless
don't necessarily need Chef.
just in that. Yeah.
We just need one of the officers, like from the compound.
Yeah, but Chef is the guy there that knows the most, I think. Yeah, unless this girl is like in that butter zone where he's just attached enough to care about her, but not attached enough to actually, risk himself to do anything about it, or at least let it influence his decision.
I was more thinking
So
of
that
how
might piss him
attached
off.
the Yakuzas are.
Oh, the Yakuza? Fuck them. There's like 6 of them.
I mean, there's 6 of them maybe right in that room.
It's
They're
been
a
well
relatively
established.
large organization.
Yeah, but we would be fucking with the Yakuza, but honestly, if they're getting involved in insurgency politics, they kind of have to see that coming. Like with all the bloodshed that's going on around town, we are the game in town, so. But on the other hand, only the Khmer Rouge know us, not the Yakuza.
Fine, fuck it. Let's go kill him. Trey's down with that.
All right. So they have a couple of guys outside of their karaoke bar. Karaoke bar opens at around about 5 p.m., but there's dudes hanging around there even during the middle of the day. So if you want to go there during the middle of the day, you can. If you want to wait until it's open, you can do that instead. Which of those will it be?
Let's do it now.
All right. The time is about 1:37 p.m. There's a suit on either side of the door. The suits are no doubt packing. They've probably got scorpions or some other machine pistol, something like that. They're no doubt wired. No doubt. They've got data jacks, and it enables them to talk internally, sub-vocally, so that's pretty handy. A couple of dudes hanging out the front of the building, smoking their cigarettes. They're not really talking to each other. Just two guys almost lost in their own thoughts. They don't appear to be very vigilant either. One's leaning up against the wall with one of his legs raised, his knee extended forward, and the other one's playing with his comlink or something, nonchalantly. They get a little bit edgy every time an individual, a Khmer local or a Chinese fella walks by. But for the most part, they don't seem any more alert than the average guard dog.
I will get out of the murder van and approach them.
That perks them up. They Yeah,
Probably
they
meant
get.
to take the murder ban for this, in all honesty, just because it's in the middle of an op. Probably took the GMC Bulldog.
I will
Sure.
get out of the GMC Bulldog and approach.
And as you do, it immediately snaps them back into guard mode. One of them puts his hand underneath his coat, and the other one stubs out his cigarette.
I will chuckle at the hand underneath the coat guy.
Chuckle what, that?
I will chuckle at the guy
Oh,
with his
chuckle.
hand underneath his coat.
Right, I was wondering what you chucked. Like, did you chuck a grenade? Sorry. All right, you chuckled. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, he pretends that he's just adjusting his suit, but he doesn't take his hand out from underneath his coat.
I will make sure to get within arm's reach of him.
He takes his hand away from his suit at that point, and a bead of sweat falls down the side of his face.
And I will put my hands up on my head with 2 fingers up. Be like, I want to talk.
She is not here. She is not here.
I'll just smile and be like, just keep waving my fingers.
I will contact her. And he sub-vocally has a bit of a communique with presumably the kitsune. And he says, she will meet you at your hotel.
When?
He has another bit of sub-vocal conversation. 6 p.m.
I'll wait for a confirmation from party on whether or not that's going to be acceptable.
My guess, they've planted a bomb at our hotel to go off at 6 p.m. That was
Okay,
a plan they were discussing earlier, but had decided they weren't quite desperate enough to do yet.
Shouldn't we stop that?
Yeah, probably. I may be wildly jumping to conclusions, but that just seemed remarkably shady.
Well, how long do we have till 6 p.m.? We should.
4 hours, 4.5 hours.
Why don't we just move the meeting place?
Yeah.
I'll be talking to this sub-vocal.
Yeah, invite her
Yeah,
to the
of course.
compound.
So I will look at him and be like, ask her to meet us at the garage. And walk away.
He sends the message through, and she will meet you here instead.
I'll look at him and be like, how long will that take?
Again, 6 p.m.
Sub-vocally. Gentlemen?
If she's here, might as well. I just didn't trust the hotel.
I mean,
It's not like they wouldn't blow up their own place. And
yeah, but they might still set off the bomb at our place anyway.
I'm okay with that. As long as I'm not
Yeah, it'll
there
get
when it
Ares.
happens.
Yeah. It'll get Ares involved.
You guys want to do
Though
some
admittedly, the
karaoke?
bomb probably doesn't have to go off to do that. But well, actually, we could maybe earn some brownie points with Night Errant by letting him know.
Well, there's a potential bombing that might be happening at 6.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, while this conversation's going on, Godfather will call up. I can never remember her fucking
G9?
name. G9. That's it. I kept wanting to say K9, but I'm like, no, it's a dog. Yeah, Godfather will call up G9.
All right. Yeah. You get her immediately. What's up?
Hey, In the interest of professional courtesy, it may be nothing, but we've received some intel that the Khmer Rouge may be planning to bomb the Siam Reap Hotel. It's Ares Properties, if I remember correctly.
It is. Very well. We will send through a drone to search for explosives.
Appreciate it. It's
Mention
yeah,
6
it
o'clock.
should be. Yeah, if our intel is correct, it should be set to go off at 6 o'clock. So be careful.
Very good. Thank you. And we will get onto it immediately.
Roger. Godfather out.
So what we're gonna do in the meantime?
That last comment wasn't for me, was it?
No, I don't.
No, that was
No one's got an
corrected
answer.
Yeah, good.
correctly.
Yeah, good.
I think it was like, what are we going to do until
Okay.
then?
Trey will find a street vendor, buy a pack of cigarettes, and lean against the glass door right between the two guys guarding and start smoking.
And they don't like your Chinese cigarettes, you know, man. Chinese cigarettes are the worst. So heavy. 32 milligram bastards, no filter. This Japanese can't handle that shit, man. They need like 8 milligram cigarettes at worst. Handle their alcohol, not their nicotine.
I'll just keep smoking and smiling.
They pretend you're not there, and they suddenly get a lot more militaristic in their defense. Straight backs, edgy, looking around, no longer slouching. But yeah, they pretend that you're. They pretend that you are no threat to them.
And I would not be. I will even offer them cigarettes.
They refuse in a way that is impolite for a Japanese person, but polite by most people's standards.
So they're just like, no, thank you.
Exactly.
I don't smoke. I don't smoke.
They don't bow or anything.
It's like, no, thank you. I don't want your cigarette. And they're thinking, it's
No.
like, yeah, I would accept it from another person, but it's like no one else gets it.
Exactly. No, thank you. No, sir.
And I'll wait 4 hours.
All right. And she arrives in a Mitsubishi Night Sky, which is a kind of limousine for a cheap man's limousine. And yeah, when she gets out, the door opens, automatic door, and it's blaring with high-speed J-pop. And yeah, she gets out and jumps up. She's so excited to see you. She jumps out and hugs you, and one of her legs goes up behind her while she hugs you. It's like something out of a 1950s Archie comic or something. And yeah, she grabs you by the hand and tries to lead you inside.
This won't take but a minute. We want to offer the big man a chance to come in.
She mistakes the big man for Ayataya, the Thai guy. Yeah.
Somebody fill me, the player, in. Who's Ayataya?
The Thai general.
Oh. Be like,
Our
no,
boss,
the
yeah.
kickboxer.
Oh,
Yeah.
she doesn't really understand, but she's willing to cooperate, or so it seems.
I will tell her that we just want to talk to him. We want to give him a chance to exfil himself out of the situation.
All right, she understands. She's a little bit hesitant. You can see it jumping over in her head like some extensive mathematical calculation as she tries to work out, if she has a choice, I guess, and what the implications are going to be. But she has an idea. Would you like a drink? I can get you some sake.
I'll put my hand to my head in the comlink gesture. And I'll say, fuck, what is it? Arigato is Japanese for please?
No, that's thank you.
Fuck. I'll say it anyway.
She understands, you are a foreign devil after all. The Chinese, they're like the worst, right? Like, anything worse than an American. Anyway, she has an idea. And she wants you to sit down, wants you to get a drink, wants you to have some sushi, and just make yourself just relax, You want massage?
We're like outside by those two guys, right?
Oh, she tries to take you inside. She's not going to talk out here in the middle of the street.
I'll repeat the phone call gesture.
And she gestures towards the inside.
How far am I away from that bulldog?
Oh, I guess 12 paces, I suppose.
I will offer to have her step inside my office.
She is not interested in stepping inside your office.
Then make the call.
She pouts and puts her hands on her hips and just shakes her head and then turns away from you with her arms crossed. Her tail is wagging like a cat angrily.
I'll be feeding all this through my cyber eyes.
Does she even know the plan? Or are you just like trying to get her to come along with you for no reason?
Whoa. Okay, time out. My understanding, this is Trey's understanding based on our earlier conversation, was we are going to contact Chef.
Yeah, I thought we were going to do it through her.
Yeah, in the event that he does not cooperate, we were going to take her as leverage. So
yeah,
she
Trey
seems to
is
suspect
looking
that,
at-
and so isn't going to jump into your van as a result. She seems like
fine.
yeah, jump in my van, pretty girl. There will be no harm to you. Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But in Trey's mind, if he is the only person on this doorstep, he's not walking into that club.
I thought like it was.
Mhm.
I thought it was everyone but like Fenway at the door.
I thought it was everybody but Fenway in the van. I was the only one that said I got out and
Because I gave like the buff to Ricochet, so that if you got ambushed inside, like you'd actually have a better chance of winning.
like I said, my understanding right now said I was the only person at the door. If that wasn't true, now would be a good time for people to establish that.
I mean, if that's what you think's happened, that's you're the one doing it. So I must just miss something.
Yeah, I think that's.
No. I'm saying it because no one else has said anything.
Okay. So do you want backup?
That's right.
Again, if Trey's the only person at the door, he's just gonna grab her and put her into the van after killing.
Well, the two guys with the guns are there. Yeah.
Trey doesn't seem overly worried about those two guys.
I didn't think so. Yeah.
All right. So we grab her, and I suppose the rest of us will just open up the door of the van and light the other two guys up when he does.
Yeah.
And
All
We're
right.
just waiting on standby right now.
So you grab the girl and try to take her away. The two dudes attempt to shoot you. I can't imagine that they're going to be able to stop you, but I guess that they will try. I guess we have no real choice but to enter into initiative. All right, this could have gone better for them, but it didn't. So yeah, Trey reaches out to grab her. I guess make the attack roll that will grapple her. So yeah, and I'm combat 6. Okay, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes on the invasion. So you grab her with 2 successful dice. I don't even really know what that means in a grapple check. You're undoubtedly stronger than her. Of that you can be absolutely certain. So I guess that you grabbed her and nabbed her and you're starting to drag her away. Does that sound accurate to everyone?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think with grapples you like compare your strength plus your net hits to the target's physical limit, which for her would be like 4, I would guess.
Trey has a 5 string.
Okay. Yeah. You got how many net hits? 4?
2.
2. So yeah, unless she's got a physical limit of 7, which is big. Then you got her.
All right. So yeah, Ricochet, you see Trey abducting the Japanese girl from off the street in broad daylight, basically. It is 5 p.m. after all.
I will draw submachine gun, HK, and roll down the window.
It's fun being in a vehicle with windows.
Point it in the direction of the two yaks. Cover them.
All right, brilliant. Godfather, abduction in process.
Yeah, a father will basically just pull the vehicle up right next to where Trey and the kitsune are, and open up the side door, and like the stereotypical, like, you know, someone grabs the kidnapped victim, and then the van rolls up with the door open, like, you know.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right. Shadow, induction in process. Any response, Shadow?
Oh, sorry. Uh, no, I'll just, I guess, help get the prisoner situated in the back of the van.
Brilliant. She screams rape, 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 tries to escape, probably can't, and just gets basically the attention of all of Little Tokyo. Fenway.
I guess I'm just concentrating on the spell.
Brilliant. The Yakuza open fire. I'll shoot at Trey, but I don't even think I can hurt him. And there's a good chance that they're going to end up hitting the girl, even if they do. So yeah, they're firing upon you, Trey. Are you going to use the Kitsune as a human shield?
I will do the opposite.
Brilliant.
I will shove her into the van and my body shield her.
Cool. What's the damage on these Ares Silver Vipers? 7p, I think. If they're 7p, one will do 10 damage, and the other one will do 11 damage.
90.
9? Okay, cool. So 12 and 13.
They're like +5 armor piercing though.
Yeah, they're pretty fucked at killing Shadowrunners.
Even so, just wait. So I add 5 to my dice pool.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like they probably won't hurt you. Probably can't hurt you.
They can definitely hurt me. And do I take one away for the second one, or is that only on dodge?
That's on dodge only.
So it was 25, and I soaked 16.
Yeah, it's 9 stun damage, I think. It's below your armor.
So yeah.
Edge may be in order there, so you don't drop from this, but
Actually, yeah, no, that's a good point. I will edge the first one. 23 minus 8. Fuck, 11? No. 15?
Alright. Construction work.
Yeah, I'll use that one edge to limit it down. Fuck. 24, so one stun damage.
All right. It's insignificant, utterly insignificant. And at this point, we can consider her to be captured while she screams, rape, rape, rape. And people run over to help her to no avail. She crosses her arms and pouts when she's sitting there in the back seat. Pulls her skirt down. It covers like the barest top of her thighs, but she pulls it that extra half-inch down.
And Trey will make sure that those two guys never shoot at anybody again. For the kid.
You, those of you who are connected to CM news feeds, and within a few minutes you will get a report of a live abduction, complete with footage. G9 will contact you around about the same time.
Yeah. You happen to find a bomb by chance?
Not yet, but the operator, no, not yet. There have been some inquiries made, though. There have been attempts made by unlicensed construction facilities, maintenance service people, but they have been turned away at the door.
I see. I don't think that's worth looking into. I want to tell you to do your job, but
Yeah, that is good advice, she tells you. Not to tell me how to do my job.
well, considering this came from a cross section of our jobs, any chance you could give me some intel on those maintenance guys? Because I'd have an interest in speaking with them.
Yeah, all right. So she passes you on some footage, some images of fake licenses and the like. Some sins that just didn't hold up to scrutiny. But ultimately, while everything looked relatively legitimate, they just weren't going to let in some people that Nancy, who was the bar manager, the hotel manager, she didn't know them personally, so she didn't let them in, and that's basically how it went.
See. All right. Well, please let me know if you uncover anything in this matter. At least. Have a good day. Yeah,
absolutely. She can, maybe find the guys, but ultimately, it's going to take time.
Sure.
Is the Kitsune still pouting? She lights a cigarette, just blows it in your face. I'm hungry.
Oh.
I'm hungry. Get me food. I want pizza. Pizza, pizza, pizza.
Trey will pick her up and spank her.
I have several days worth of ration bars.
It's not pizza.
Godfather will place an order with Domino's.
Excellent, excellent. It asked if you would like pepperoni again. Like it's got data on your
It's got our order saved for our address.
Exactly.
To just make sure to untick the the stun grenades.
Yeah, don't check that option. Yeah. Guess we'll order a pizza.
All right, it satisfies her a little bit, although she complains about it. She says that they use the wrong cheese in this country. But she's got her pizza and she becomes a little bit more compliant. She's had a cigarette. She's been spanked. All of it helps to bring her into line a little bit. What do you want? Why you want Chef?
You figure if he comes out willingly, it's easier than killing him.
So, you don't work with Yakuza, but now you use me as your bait.
It's not bait. Just make a phone call.
We
Please.
could have been friends.
We still can.
Maybe. All right. So, how do we do this? You want public call?
I'll point at Godfather when that nerd shit starts coming up.
Do you want all of us to talk to him at the same time?
It's your show, Godfather. You wanted
I was
to
gonna say Trey got you.
I'm
the
not a
girl.
negotiator.
Like
For
Trey
sure.
got you to the point that we have pipeline, and he killed Yakuza. That's really all he cares about.
Because I thought they'd just like to get in contact with Chef to try to get him to like come out peacefully.
Yeah, we're
So it's
trying
like,
to
can we
talk him
can
into
we
surrender.
do that with like the tech we have?
Yeah, we just need his phone number, basically.
I suppose you can like make sure that this all like army guy isn't like spying on us, like in the Matrix.
Yeah, presumably. So I mean, it's probably on Chef's comm if he's working for them, so it would be a ton of point. But I'll use a burner.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Not surprisingly, he's there all right. Not on the burner, of course, but yeah, Humphrey Bogart's there in the background.
I suppose what we could do
Always
is have the Kitsune like ring him up under the guise it's like, oh, why don't we just meet up and then we'll just talk to him outside of the compound, so the people in the compound will just think, oh, he's going out to talk to this other person, not us.
The compound's pretty under siege right now. I'm not sure they're coming and going. I think it's best we just call him up and just, he's in an even worse situation than the last time we made this offer, and we're not intending to make it a third time.
And we can always ask him like how the other people are feeling about their current situation. Because maybe more than one of them want out as well.
Yeah. Okay, do we want me doing the negotiating here? Because that's not my specialty.
I suppose I've got. So I suppose what we want is him to surrender when we assault. It's not like resist.
Ideally, we'd like him to defect to us and just, leave the compound, slip out if he can.
I suppose I could try.
Yeah. Because at the moment, we just took out his sniper asset, so we can effectively assault his compound and pick off his men at our leisure until they've just been utterly whittled down. There's no real way out for him there. And
This
it
is a
seems like
test.
he's not a fanatic.
Yeah, this is when we find out whether or not he believes in the cause or was in it for the money. Because we should have crossed over the cost-benefit ratio quite a while ago.
Yeah. Yeah, in business terms, this is very rapidly proving itself a bad investment. An unfruitful venture, you might say.
Hmm.
I suppose we'll get her to get in contact with him.
What do you want me to say?
I think we just need a phone call, basically, and if he's really uncooperative, hey, your girlfriend's here, by the way.
So basically, just got her for the phone so she could give us his phone number.
Mostly, is hostile and it's just like, fuck you guys, then we at least got
Oh, try to
something
get her to
threaten
calm them down?
with. Yeah, I think we got different negotiation styles. I'll leave this to you. Yeah, we're just aiming to talk him out by convincing him he's in a really bad position right now.
This is another time to reflect that at some point Fenway's going to go home to visit his parents to tell them about his semester abroad. And he's going to be giving them stories, and they're basically going to look at him like a war criminal.
I don't know, man. I reckon Fenway's dad doesn't listen to shit that Fenway says. Like, maybe Mum will listen, but Dad doesn't listen to Mum either. So, like, Dad's just gonna be sitting there reading his old-fashioned cyber newspaper, and just gonna ignore everything that his loser son.
Just pick up on like the bare minimum. It's like, oh, you made a friend. It's like when I'm talking about Godfather, it's like, oh, he saved my life. Like, oh, so he had like a business partner or something.
And then we
Yeah,
can
exactly.
Right. That's nice, son.
Yeah, that's nice, son.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm a powerful mage. Like, oh, you're into D&D now? Is that it?
Perhaps you should go back to college, boy. All right.
I suppose
So,
we'll get the
she's
phone call.
Yep. So you guys are making the call, or she's making the call?
I think we should make the call.
First, and then
All right. So yeah, you give her the number and dial it, and surprise, surprise, there's no connection. Like, it just rings out effectively. I don't know if Matrix calls ring out, but no one answers.
could we ring like him through her phone? So it looks like she's ringing.
Yeah, probably. He's not picking up an unknown number, if his comms even on. But
So
considering
you're gonna.
he's calling for
Yep.
booty from town, I'm guessing it is.
So you snatch her comlink away and use it instead.
No, well, you'll try to use her one.
Okay, yeah. So she has no real choice. She doesn't want to give it up, but it's too expensive to break, so she's not going to fight over it. I got like a very modern comlink. All right. You make the call, and the chef answers, and you're broadcasting visuals as well, right? You don't, like, nobody just talks anymore, do they?
Sometimes Shadowrunners do, but I think in this case, probably face to face. Yeah, unless anybody's.
Help, baby! Help, baby! I've been kidnapped! Rape, baby! They're raping me, baby! Help me! What do you assholes want?
I mean, we just want to talk. You've made yourself a very hard person to get in contact with.
Quit cutting the shit and tell me what this is all about.
Well,
They raped me, baby! They raped me!
we just want you to. I mean, we can tell that you're a businessman, and this clearly isn't profitable anymore. We think that it would be better for you just to back out now.
You assholes gonna offer me a way out like you did to Clockwork?
He attacked us. Like, we gave him the out, and he attacked us.
Fucking bullshit. That man's a family man. He would have done anything for his kids.
I mean, I thought that too, but why did he attack me?
Side note, out of character. Don't forget to remind him that Clockwork's wives and kids were delivered safely.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah, it was like, and we did uphold our end of the bargain. We got them out, despite his betrayal.
You motherfuckers telling me that Clockwork got a good deal working with you assholes? Are you fucking serious, man?
Well, the deal was he helped us, and we got his family out, and we got his family out.
Yeah, well, motherfucker, I ain't got no fucking family, so I ain't got nothing to say to you. I ain't got shit for you.
Well, you got you. We can get you out.
Bullshit.
Well, what have you got to distrust us? We've, like, upheld our deals in the past.
You white motherfuckers are brain dead. I ain't working with you. I ain't got no trust for you. Why the hell would I offer anything to you? You come and get me, bitch, if you're man enough.
I mean, if you do want to evidence that we're men of our word, I understand you're holding a prisoner we liberated.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Sasquatch Cyberdoc. We extracted him.
Oh, the monkey. You were behind that? Small world.
Small world indeed, but man, if you ask him, we did uphold our end of the word or end of the bargain with him as well.
Yeah, well, I heard about that little extraction. Didn't go real well from his point of view, from what I understand.
Yeah, most certainly did not. But as far as our end went through,
Look, asshole, I don't know how fucking stupid you think I am. I don't know if you think that my titanium plating has dulled my senses or something, made it hard to think. But I ain't as fucking stupid as you seem to think I am. I ain't giving you shit, Dick.
all right then. Enjoy your remaining days.
Rape me, they rape me, baby! Shut the fuck up, bitch. And he hangs up.
Well, that was certainly productive.
Good use of our time.
I mean,
Bit
I
Kitsune.
think that went about as well as I thought it would have gone.
What the asshole? What the fucking asshole? And she lights another cigarette.
Because I think what we didn't account for is that he's a very proud person as well.
Yeah.
Because him giving
Really
in to us
proud.
is basically him like surrendering as admitting that we're stronger, which he doesn't think is true.
Godfather sends a private message to Trey saying, what are your thoughts on taking her up in the plane and dropping her off at the compound from a couple kilometers up?
That seems like a waste.
Oh, what?
He'll give you the feed through his eyes as he looks at her tail.
She's fucking irritating.
So
Yes.
should we just drop her back off at the club? And I'll just be saying this like, as you're like just looking at each other.
Let's think about it for a minute.
I will I'll just ask her. Like, you want to roll with us, or how's this gonna go? We can
Fuck
drop
that
you off
guy.
at his place.
No, fuck that guy. He a piece of shit.
I'll vocally say to Godfather, like, why don't you drop us off at that folk place, and I'll talk to her about it.
You like?
You got snow? Who got snow?
Oh, Trey definitely has this one.
Just go to the compound. Like, yeah, we have like a ton, like a literal ton.
Literal ton.
Yeah, I'll be like,
Hello?
on second thought, take
Yeah,
us to
we
the...
still got about $100,000 worth of assorted drugs.
All right, you've got a new girlfriend, Trey. Like, yeah, she don't care how big your dick is because your coke is bigger than any dick she's ever seen. So that's fine with her.
Like you go, like we just filled like a swimming pool full of like cocaine.
All right,
What did I miss?
Gonna go ahead and mark off 54 doses.
she's in love. She's in love for the first time.
What happened? What did I miss?
Coke, lots of it.
Who did coke?
She asked for some snow, and Finway's like, "Yeah, we got like a metric ton of that shit. Just no worries, baby. That's
We're
drugging up
Shadowrun.
innocent
That's how
children.
we
happens-
roll.
It's like drugging up children. That's our specialty.
Who dropped that down here?
That's the drugging your allies so they don't know that you betrayed them. That's the special.
Precisely. That's just routine around here.
I didn't betray you.
All right, the child soldiers absolutely love their new mommy. They probably love her far too much, but stepmom porn I've heard is relatively popular.
I suppose while we're at the compound, like, do we actually have any questions for like our prisoner?
Which one?
A
We got
blank?
3 of them here now. Don't we have 3 people here now? Do we?
I think it's just the one prisoner.
Boang and the Kitsune. I think that's it.
I don't think she's a prisoner anymore.
Boang or the Kitsune.
Kitsune.
Well, that depends on whether Trey minds her calling up all her other boyfriends or not, I guess.
Look, Trey will just take that as a people I need to visit list.
There we go. That's pragmatism. That's how these sort of relationships work.
Oh, she just invites them over.
At this
and they
point, is it
disappear the
even worth
next day?
it to?
What was the question, Bernie?
Oh yeah, no, I was asking if at this point if we even need to keep her like in the van for leverage.
You've got 999 kilos of leverage right here. Unless there's a really heavy rain downpour, then yeah, we've got all the leverage we need. As long as it keeps snowing and it doesn't start raining, then she's happy.
All right, that sounds good.
It does. It's the ideal relationship, my friend.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, you have a compliant Kitsune. You've got the Yakuza essentially under your thumb because they would not dare to harm this one because someone back in Japan is going to be really fucking pissed off if they do. You've got control of the triads because they're a bunch of wannabes only slightly more proficient than your own child soldiers. You've got the government on side. You've got the Thai military who are taking credit for work that you've done. You still don't really know what's going on in Battambang. You still have no idea what's happening in Angkor Wat, just out of town. But we have at least isolated our enemies. I'm almost going to stop calling them the Khmer Rouge at this point. You've isolated the headquarters of our enemies on the farm. You're monitoring the farm. You haven't noticed much in the way of vehicles coming in and out. The boats are still coming in. I don't think we've done anything really to stop that. Yeah, the city is basically yours. You've all but you've contained the threat. There's nothing really left to do but crush it.
Yeah, we want to cut off their food supply, cut off their
And
power.
if we get bang on us, like we can try to get to like order them to surrender, and they won't, but it might shake their morale a little bit.
Not really. Like we're holding her hostage in their eyes, and a hostage being like surrender. Yeah. Plus, these guys seem to be chefs, trolls, like people who work for him rather than like Khmer.
I suppose we can ask him like how much he knows about any of them, see if we can use anything like in there.
Yeah, I think the negotiation stage is pretty much over.
How do we carry out the next order of business?
So yeah, we want to put the compound under siege essentially, cut off their vehicles, get in touch with Mr. Wet, I suppose, and ask him to actually probably just find out if they're hooked up to like any kind of public works, like power or water.
It's good.
And I will ask about like what she knows about Mahout's powers, because like I do find it weird that he would consent to like that sort of like treatment of the animals.
Sure. Give me a moment to have a look over it.
Because unlike the other soldiers, like they can be like told that, oh, you're doing the right thing, but he can see into the astral and see that he's not doing the right thing.
This is the guy that we evacuated his chest with.
Yeah, but I'm still like,
railgun, right?
I'm just curious.
Yeah. All right. So she explains it like this. How do we put it? Like herself, Mahout was part of the Khmer Rouge before the takeover. He is a nationalist in his own way. He's a peaceful kid, and he is only a kid. He's not he was only a kid. He was always very in favour of Khmer nationalism and rebuilding the Khmer Empire and so on and so forth. He believed the communist propaganda. He believed the nationalist propaganda that we were going to rebuild the Khmer Empire, and that it would be a very spiritual place, a very holy place, where the spirits are given their due, and the priestly caste is more important than politicians, with the queen or the king right at the very top where they should be. Still a monarchy, but not a constitutional democratic monarchy, rather a divine monarchy. So he's a monarchist in that regard, a divine monarchist.
Theistic?
The guy, sorry? A mystic,
theistic
yeah.
monarchy.
So I guess the idea is he was there before like the ideals got corrupted by like whatever came around.
Precisely right. Yeah, that's right. That's how she would put it as well. And he remained uncorrupted to some degree. Like, the guy got some serious depression. He became suicidal essentially, but couldn't bring himself to kill himself because he was the only one there to look after the animals. And with all the terrible things that they were doing to the animals, he felt that they needed him more than ever. So in one way he was powerless, but in the other way he was very maternal and trying to.
So essentially, we killed the only good character in the compound.
You can look at it like that if you like.
So I mean, I'm guessing what was the sinful?
We also
Did it
geeked
with the
the
railgun.
mage.
Yeah. What? So back before like the big change, like was it the Supreme Leader? Like what caused the big change in the group?
All right. So the war's still going on, she explains. The war within the Khmer Rouge continues. It hasn't yet been won. The battle for Battambang is Khmer Rouge versus Khmer Rouge, old guard versus the new leadership. The Supreme Leader has always been in charge, as far as she's aware, although the methodology of the Supreme Leader seems to have changed over the years and over the months that have passed. So yeah, to summarize, it goes something like this. The United Nations is basically in control of Cambodia, at least outside of the capital city, where the provincial government has some control. Or the forest, where shit just is crazy, because that's the way the awakened forest is everywhere on the planet. So the Khmer Rouge saw itself as much in the same way as the Khmer Rouge of the 20th century did. They believed that they were going to create a primitive spiritual but pure society that would be removed from the corruption of corporate influence, and where they would live in harmony with the spirits, with the world, with each other. But it would be a sort of forced harmony. It was a harmony that was militarized. The intellectuals who disagreed, the Christians, the Muslims, anyone else who basically served some higher ideal or some higher power was obviously a threat to the ideologies, the ideologues who wanted to see the return of a Maoist state, a relatively primitive communist state where the state itself has all the control over the lives of the people. Naturally, that didn't bunk very well with the corporations. She doesn't put it like that, but you can put two and two together if you've got half a brain. For reasons that she never found out and never questioned due to her loyalty to the supreme leader and the cause, she never inquired where these new leaders came from or why. All that she knew was that it was part of the vision. And she, believed in the vision because she was told to believe in the vision. So Supreme Leader brings in a whole bunch of new leaders from outside of the country, and lo and behold, they topple the old leadership everywhere except for Bottom Bong itself, anyway, where they remain in control. And since then, they've basically been consolidating their power over Siem Reap while also trying to crush the last remnants of the old guard up in Bottom Bong.
Okay, so just to make sure I've got everything right. So the UN is basically in control. Well, the idea is, and
the UN is in control because Angkor Wat is a World Heritage Area, right? And because it's a World Heritage Area, the United Nations is able to do a New World Order style takeover and take control of sovereign property. It should belong to the Khmer government or the Khmer people in a legal sense. That's the way government works. But the United Nations has supreme authority over every government on the planet. And so they said, "Oh, this is World Heritage," and it is. To be fair, this is World Heritage. Therefore, your incompetent, corrupt government is not capable of looking after this. So we're going to have to look after it. You can't look after it yourselves, but that's okay for the common good of all of mankind. We will take it from you and administer it privately. What nice fellas, looking after the shared heritage of mankind like that.
What a noble cause.
What a noble cause. And because they control Angkor, they by default control Siem Reap, because Siem Reap's only 10 or 15 kilometres away from Angkor. And you can't administer the temples without also administering the tourist facilities and the government that runs it. So yeah, I know I just interrupted you when you only just got started, but the United Nations signed a document, and suddenly this was no longer governed by Cambodia, still within Cambodian borders. It's not an extraterritoriality or anything. It's just that the corporations, because the corps control the United Nations 100%, they literally control it. So the 10 mega corporations effectively own Siem Reap and Angkor Wat.
And I guess this is what brought the Khmer Rouge about, because they want to be, independent from the corps.
Precisely right, and that was, one of the instigating factors that formed the Khmer Rouge. It's, imagine if the United Nations said, okay, the Vatican belongs to us. Catholics can only go there if they sign a waiver, get a license, and pay homage to Satan. There's going to be an uproar. And it's the same thing with the Khmer. It's just that the Khmer are not a global billionaire institution.
And the Supreme Leader, according to Blank at least, has always been there. Recently changed his tactics and has, I suppose, corrupted the ideal. Because now they're working with Evo, we know that for a fact, and they're probably working with other corps. But the only area that seems to still be, I guess, pure, like Kaimo Rouge, is Battambang, but they're about to like lose there as well.
That's right. Angkor Wat itself isn't under the control of any human at all. It's under the control of the Naga, the enlightened spirit creatures that, in Boang's eyes, are a higher form of being than humans anyway.
Yeah, the Supreme Leader, like he brought in like new people from outside, like that's. So I've got to ask, like
Correct.
this change, like was it like gradual or did it happen suddenly?
It was a sudden change, and she, as a lieutenant, wasn't informed about it. It just, yeah, she was outside of the circle, and by the time she heard about it, it was because they were, assassinating certain leaders. So the way, I guess the story from her point of view goes something like this. We're in control of Siem Reap and Battambang. We're eventually going to push into Phnom Penh. Oh, what's that? Assassination. Fuck, who's taking out all of our leadership? Assassination. Oh, we've got these new replacement leaders to take care of the leaders that have suddenly mysteriously died. Well, that's good. We need new leaders because we're losing leaders at a rate of knots. And it's really only since she's been in prison here and she's had time to meditate, time to think, and she hasn't been responsible for 200 little kids running around with guns and drugs that she's really been able to see things as they are.
And I guess since he's one of the old guard and the old guard are dying off, like
Yeah.
she was probably next to be assassinated, wasn't she?
Potentially, right? Yeah, potentially. But then again, she was so compliant, right? She didn't question the vision,
I
and
suppose-
it was that subservience which likely kept her alive.
I suppose you could say the same about any of the other leaders though as well.
I guess so.
But did the Supreme Leader, did he make appearances before the sudden shift, like public appearances?
No.
So he's always
No,
been hidden.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe he was a person, but then he was killed off and replaced by like an AI or something. The change was like that sudden, like that might make sense.
She doesn't know, but she certainly doesn't rule that possibility out.
What do the rest of you guys think about that? It's not just me talking.
AI.
No, that like the Supreme Leader was like replaced at some point, and that's what caused a sudden shift in like their like direction.
That's certainly what it sounds like. A faceless leader who's never seen him or never shown himself suddenly undergoes a massive personality change, purges his own government.
Because it seems that without the change, the Kaimo Rouge wouldn't have been too much of an issue. Because because I don't think anyone outside of Cambodia really cares about it.
I think he was replaced by corporate stooge.
Yeah, they're a corporate stooge, maybe someone working for Evo, or someone with their own agenda allied with Evo.
So I guess other than Mohu, I guess everyone still in the farm is the new leadership.
She says that Long March is she's a believer in communism in general, not specifically the Khmer Rouge, but she believes that the power belongs in the hands of the people. The decisions should be made collectively. That doctors are only worth as much as street sweepers. It's just that they happen to be better educated. That sort of thing. She has those pure communist ideals, and quite clearly, Boang doesn't know that she's dead.
I suppose real quick, does she know anything much about Red October?
Not much. He was a failed academic, from what she can understand. She doesn't want to insult the guy or his memory or anything like that, but he always seemed like a bit of a fuddy-duddy. I guess he was a Lenin in a world of Stalins.
So more passive, less about action, more considerate.
Yeah, exactly. An intellectual who was out of his depths up against hardened fucking serial murderers.
It says here, thought to be brought in to spread the Kaibi message among the peasantry, but sidelined by the commanders. So it seems that he's been largely ineffective.
Yeah. her assessment is similar to that as well. Like the guy, he's not a bad guy, and she learned a lot from him, but ultimately, imagine your granddad in the post-apocalyptic fucking Mad Max world. Granddad's
he has to
not
like try
that
to like
useful.
relate to like Cambodian peasant farmers as like an intellectual.
Yeah, exactly. It's not easy, right? It's not easy when your IQ is 160 and you're trying to negotiate with people whose IQ is literally 60. It's not easy.
What do you know about Death Roll?
Death Roll's she doesn't know him very well. She has respect for him. When he appeared, that was when she first began questioning the legitimacy of the cause. Because this, he's not Khmer. But then again, the fact that he is a crocodile made him kind of. It made her easy to believe that he was somehow spiritually enlightened or connected. Like he looked the part. He had the man bun. He had the beard. He was he had an acoustic guitar. Quite clearly, he was a hippie, right? Not like you know what I mean.
I mean,
So,
if I go into a
yeah.
Khmer base and there's a crocodile man, I'll just assume he belongs there.
Exactly right, and so like initially strange, but then again, in a roundabout way, it kind of makes sense. And so she has respect for the guy, although he's a hedonist, an alcoholic, a drug addict, a sex tourist. She doesn't respect him as a man, but she does respect him as a leader.
Killing Fields?
Killing Fields scares me. I've never met him, and I never want to.
Yeah,
I've heard that he has over 1,000 kills.
Yeah, he scares me. It's he
He's
drowned
kind of-
8,000 people, I think.
Oh God, yeah, it makes her go pale. She
Una?
thinks he's up in Bottombong, focusing on the death of Songkran.
Did we find out that he's like here in the farm? Or am I talking about thinking about Long March again?
I don't know.
I guess
we haven't seen anything of that guy.
Okay, so hopefully he doesn't make an appearance.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's at considering he hasn't shown his face yet, unless he's really waiting for an opportunity. I'm guessing he's at Angkor Wat
Okay,
or somewhere else entirely.
I mean, lastly, I can pretty much guess what she's going to say, but we'll ask about the chef as well.
She never liked the chef. She always thought that he was, more American than Thai, and that's one hell of an insult when you don't like Thais.
And I guess like that was probably the closest she got to like questioning like the leader, like bringing him on, because we saw like the messages she sent like between them.
Yeah, but again, ultimately, like, although the Cambodians and the Thais have centuries of bad blood, she could still justify the inclusion of this cybernetic fuckwit because deep down he's a spiritual guy. Deep down he's truly believes in the spiritual essence of Muay Thai as a cultural practice, not just as a way of inflicting violence on people. So she regards him as a spiritual man, but demons are spirits too, right?
True.
He's a demon. He's a demon in man form that happens to be half machine. She doesn't really view Chef as a human at all. But then again, he is so heavily influenced by the Americans. And how long has it been since there was a spiritual person in that country? Those countries.
I mean, he's an orc. Is he really a human anyway?
Good point.
I mean, I suppose. She mentioned the Siamese Serpents at some point. Like, well, what are they?
Siamese Serpents is an insult.
Oh,
It
okay.
basically refers to almost exclusively men, can be women, but it's almost exclusively men who are worse than the corporations, right? You know, the sex traffickers, the drug runners, the mass murderers, the people like Ayataya, the people like Chef. They're Thais. Siamese means Thai. So it basically refers to people exactly like Chef and Ayataya. Thais who have lots and lots of power, complete and fucking utter misogynists, who believe it is their divine right to be able to carve up Southeast Asia as they see fit. They take the Burmese girls when they want. They take the Vietnamese girls when they want. They convert the city however they like. They sell the islands to whoever they like, and so on. Just the worst that humanity has to offer. Yeah, that's a Siamese serpent.
So I guess people have the power to make good change, but they decide not to.
Precisely right, man.
Not
like
even not
the
deciding.
status quo.
I suppose not even
Yeah.
deciding that, deciding to do evil with it.
Yeah, precisely. Like these. Yeah, in her minds, evil is the right word. She uses the word demon to describe them. People who, as you say, they have the power to make a change in this world, and they actively choose to make it worse. Not even necessarily for their own benefit. You know, yeah, sure, Ayataya is getting more power, more prestige, more money, but he doesn't need any of these things. He's got all the power and prestige and money that a man could ever want. He controls a country as a military senator. He controls an army. His wealth is enormous, and yet he still needs to come into our country and rape it? Yeah, it sends a... Well, she almost summons spirits. She's so furious.
Does anyone else have any questions? Because I find this all very interesting. Oh, does she know much about Harry the monkey?
No,
Yeah,
no, has
wouldn't have thought so.
never met him. No.
He was kept at the farm and she wasn't there.
Mm. Yeah, doesn't know the monkey. Likes monkeys. They're kind of cheeky, but she likes them anyway. That's their spirit, right?
That's sort of
their
why
nature.
we like them.
That's exactly right. You get her, she gets you. Yeah, it's a romance made in hell.
And I suppose the last question is because at this point I suppose the New Order's basically lost. Does she see any of them like surrendering, or does she think that they're all like dedicated like to the new cause?
The last that she heard, Songkran Run. Songkran is she explained is a very wealthy communist. He's a member of the Cambodian government, but he has basically been ousted from power. He has some influence over Thailand. She doesn't know. Never really cared. But he was the last of the true believers that she knew of, and then he fled. He ran away to some island, Koh Samui in Thailand. She thinks he went and hid on his own little private exotic resort in Koh Samui, Thailand, so that he could raise fucking fish or some shit. She doesn't really know. A fish enthusiast, and yeah. So as far as she can tell, the movement has already been defeated. It doesn't even know what's going on in Bottombong, because when Songkran was driven out of the country, that should have been it.
Wait, is this Mr. Red?
She's heard him called that before, but it's certainly not a name she'd ever use.
Because like we stole one of his fish, didn't we? No, a snake. No, we think. Well, I mean, we think he's still alive.
Ren Songkran, she says. That is his name.
So what was the first one? First bit?
Ren Ren Songkran. Ren, R-E-N.
I got that really wrong.
Huh. That's pretty wrong.
Are there any mysteries we sort of need to clear up?
I don't think
Yeah,
so. It's
much
been
of
useful until-
Do we let her? Do we catch her up, or do we just? Are we going to wait until after like the military stuff, after we've finished our campaign, to like tell her all the stuff that's happening?
Yeah.
So I guess
let's,
like in military terms, like all this would be classified, like who's dead, who's alive, and where they all are.
yeah, especially since most of the people we've knocked off are the people she was most favorable of.
Yeah, we can just let that come out over time.
Yeah, we
Maybe
seem
we
to
can
have gotten
tell.
the only redeemable people in the group of them.
They were the only people that were on the
I'm
target.
not saying they were bad. I'm not saying we were wrong to kill them. I'm just saying they coincidentally happened to be the ones that are the most sympathetic.
Have you met Arctic before, or is this like your first time?
Like, why couldn't we just kill like Killing Fields? Like, no one will miss him.
I mean,
Well,
admittedly,
hey, in Arctic's defense, the chef was meant to be number.
I mean, I suppose also in Arctic, like this is like, I suppose it's meant to be more of a grey campaign than just killing bad guys.
Who would have thought that I'd be sympathetic to communists?
Silly Arctic, assigning priorities to people knowing full well that we won't go anywhere near that order.
I still can't figure out where we were supposed to get that we should go after the chef first.
Because you had like
here's
initially you basically had these jobs to do. You had to get the airport eventually. The first job was probably going to be the train because I expected that you'd want to get your equipment from the train. So I thought the train would be first. After that, there was really only two options, and that was either clockwork or the chef. And what I'd anticipated you were doing, for some fucking crazy reason, I thought that you'd guess that, well, and indeed you did guess that by hitting one you'd set off the other. So I thought you'd hit them both at the same time, and that didn't happen.
No,
So I don't know why I thought that. Maybe I just thought that would be the best idea, and that's why I thought
that
that.
were the two that were in Siem Reap, and you thought we'd start there.
Precisely. Yeah.
That's what I said when we went up to the airport. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be like one of the final missions. Big grand battle.
Yeah, but like, there's not a ton of build up in Shadowrun, like, unless you're, you don't get much more powerful from start of the game to mid game.
That depends on how you build the character.
Yeah, true. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, do we want to ask anything else, or work together, or work out what we want to do about the compound or the farm?
Because it's just
What are we going to do about the
it's
farm?
just the chef's men on the farm, isn't it? I suppose we'll ask her that. Did I disconnect?
No, I didn't hear the question.
Oh,
I thought you were discussing it with the party.
Is it just chef's men on the farm?
Oh, you're asking her.
Yeah.
She has no idea. The farm was never her area of expertise. It used to be a private enterprise. It was owned by that Australian guy, and
Death Roll.
they got Death Roll. That's right. The farm is owned by Death Roll. It's his personal property. He didn't administer it. He just lived in Australia, had an asset in Cambodia. He'd come over a couple of times a year just to check how it was running. She doesn't know any of this by gospel. This is just hearsay, and she was never really interested. But to answer your question more directly, are they chefs, man? She got no fucking idea. She's never even heard of the
that makes
trolls. She didn't know that we had an army of elite cybernetic trolls in the Khmer Rouge. This is news to her. Why didn't they give me some? You know,
Yeah, would have been useful.
That would have been nice. So yeah.
It seems that the new leaders just seem to be a bunch of I guess mercenaries and corp people. Because Deathwall was Deathwall's a capitalist. The chef is similar. He works for Evo. Harry's probably here against his will. Killing Fields is just a serial killer.
Yeah, that's the way it seems. There's been some kind of takeover within the Khmer Rouge leadership behind the scenes, and now they're, if not outright corporate stooges, heavily allied with them.
His speciality is mass murder and death magic.
Yep.
He's especially good at mass murder done through death magic. You don't have to, doesn't actually even have to be there. Just kills fucking 100 people without ever turning up for the job. What an asshole!
Not even a chance.
It's like who makes that sort of character that you make a mage that never actually joins the run and just kills people remotely? Fuck you, pal! I'm sending a team around to your fucking base and shooting you. Fuck you, make a new character. Sorry.
Are you complaining about Godfather at the moment?
I've actually never seen that character before, but it would be
Geppetto or
yeah, something like that. But I've never seen a character made that way, but it would piss me off if I did. It's one thing to send a decker. It's one thing to send a rigger, and he does his drones. I can handle that. That's that's a trope. That's normal. But to make a magician that never actually leaves his own living room and does all of his shadow running from the living room, I reckon that would piss me off. I reckon. Yeah.
He doesn't even. He just does it in random subway stations.
The ritual magic alone would be runs.
Yeah, but you could send your lackeys to do that, or your spirits to go and get what you need for your rituals. And,
just a Shadowrun group, but they're all mages, and they just send spirits to do all the jobs.
Yeah, that would be. Why are we playing again? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You just spend 2 months before the job, and just get up to your 8 limit and 4-6 spirits, and just descend 300 of them onto the enemy base.
It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea, but so yeah. Sorry to make this all personal and grognardy, but there you go. A personal pet peeve that I've never even seen happen. It's a preemptive pet peeve.
I suppose. Does you know anything about what Mr. White or Mr. Yellow?
Mr. White can't actually speak Khmer. You've never heard him say a word of Khmer.
I mean, he's supposed to be he's the relations guy, isn't he?
Interior Minister.
Now the Prime Minister.
He's now the Prime Minister of an independent state. Yeah, he got a promotion. Still can't speak the language, but he somehow rules over the country. What a champion!
Hey, he's my guy. He let me use the cyber clinic.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where Julius Caesar rocks up a statue and weeps because Julius Caesar's 35 and he hasn't accomplished half of what Mr. White has done.
I guess Mr. Yellow. I suppose she just thinks he's a demon because he's the Thai general, isn't he?
She doesn't really know anything about him. He's a Siamese serpent, right? He's a Thai. He's not Khmer. He's a Siamese serpent. He's not even a smart Siamese serpent. He's just one of those rich kids that happens to be in the right place at the right time. All right.
That's been enlightening. I like that. And I guess whoever the supreme leaders will actually find something when we raid the farm. Well, I hope we find something.
Yeah, you can only guess where he's based. There's not a whole lot of options. If it's not Siem Reap, if it's not the farm, if it's not Bottom Bong, if it's not Angkor Wat, maybe it is one of those. But if it's not, where the fuck could he be? In a fucking satellite?
I think either the chef or Deathwall are the most likely to be able to know him because they have ties to the corporations, and we think that maybe the corporations got in contact with the supreme leader and either replaced him or like corrupted him. Does that sound like something reasonable? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I bet as reasonable as an assassination and replacement plot can, but then again, this is Shadowrun.
Quite true.
Rather, this is the Sixth World.
I'll say we just try to take some of these guys alive and like interrogate them.
Yeah, I mean, Chef probably, because once again, he knows about the link with Evo. But who else would know something?
I think Deathwall would because like he is in league with like the corpse as well.
True, yeah, he's a capitalist, so I mean, it may be harder to take Killer Croc here alive than Chef, but I mean,
I think it would be about the same. They're both like tough people.
Oh god, not Nishiki.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh god, not Nishiki.
Yeah, what's Nishiki?
Mr. White, the
okay.
profile photo we decided to use for him.
Ah, I thought you were referring to the
Yakuza.
philosopher.
Yep.
I was thinking, like that doesn't look like Frederick Nietzsche. Anyway.
No, not Nichi. Nishiki. I think that it's spelled Nishiki, but it's pronounced Nishiki. I think. Ah, well. So just to be sure about taking these guys for interrogation, like, will we just like try and convince them? Will we take them at gunpoint? What's the idea here?
Tase the bejesus out of him, I think.
And I think,
have him wake
reading
up
the
in a cell.
bios, Deathwall does have a history of, I guess, compliance. Like, cause he got caught for his drug scheming, and he was found not guilty and honorable discharge. So he probably gave up like all of his contacts, like to get that like outcome.
Yeah, sounds like he squealed like a pig.
And if he did it then, chances are he'll do it again.
Yeah, definitely sounds that way. Sort of self-serving. So yeah, him and Chef, who, despite being a hostile asshole, we could at least mind probe.
So I guess are we going to like load? I suppose we kill the trolls, but try to get the leaders alive so we can interrogate them like properly.
Yeah, we can load up with Stick and Shock and Narco Jet.
Or simply just, or if I can see them, I can try just to use my influence to try to get them to surrender.
Yeah.
But they'll probably be, but they probably have stronger will than most.
Yeah, but you can offset that by doing shit like shooting them up with stun damage beforehand, so they get penalties. So yeah, I think we go in and just plan to kill everything except the leadership. Basically any named character there.
I think if killing fields turn up, I don't want to risk it with him. He seems too powerful.
Oh yeah, if Killing Fields turns up, we drop his ass because fucking vampire. Matter of fact, probably looking to get in some wood pulp rounds just in case.
And I suppose because Brang wasn't scared of any of them apart from him, so he seems like a big deal.
Yeah. Well, actually, apparently from a specialty, he doesn't actually have to show up. He just uses bullshit killing magic from
Yeah, but I mean,
somewhere.
if he uses death magic and just kills us, like there's nothing we can do about that, I guess.
Yeah,
I
basically.
mean, what is death magic?
Magic that kills you.
Sounds to me like ritual magic.
Yeah. All right. Everybody, watch your hair and blood from now on.
Okay, everybody, you're going to have to collect your own shit. When you go to the toilet, take a plastic bag with you.
That's right. We can always reprocess it as fertilizer for the composting heap the child soldiers are running.
God.
There's already quite a few bodies in there. I mean,
Yeah. You got to grow the next generation of cannabis plants somehow.
so what are we doing?
Great question.
I think we will I think we're going to at some point assault the compound and try to take, I suppose, Red October, Death Roll, Harry, and the chef alive, and we'll try to kill everyone else.
Let's do it. Let's go. Trey fucking starts loading up, puts on his chameleon suit,
And
loads his APDS.
I suppose before we do the full assault, we could have the stealthier people like Trey just sort of sneak around the border to just snipe people until they stop patrolling, and then we'll do our full assault.
Long March neutralized. I can get our plan in order and get that 50 cal working from above.
But remember, they have all the snipers.
Yeah, they do, but
They won't be as good, but a sniper shot to the head will be sort of fatal no matter what.
Yeah, I did take. I can't really arm this thing that much. I mean, I see how much I can without compromising its capabilities, but I'm pretty confident I can manage flying this thing.
Define this thing. You don't mean
plane.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your tank.
Oh.
It flies there.
No, I'm talking about our new smuggling craft. It's not armored, but it's stealthy as fuck, and it's got a mount for the 50 cal, so at least provide fire support from above. Dip in for a round, unleash some bullets, and then use the rest of my movement to get out of range again. Yeah, so is that how we want to go for this? Just assault the compound, kind of like the airport. Just focus on getting the leaders alive.
Yeah. Do we want to snipe at their defenses for a few days first, just to take out a few of the trolls first?
Yeah, see if they got any tricks to play to do something about it. Yeah, that sounds good. We could get Flash or someone to just camp out near the main road or something like that, and just pick off trolls when they present themselves.
And when they're at a stage where they're too scared to like even leave the buildings, like we'll have free range just to go into, just like storm individual buildings and like get who we need.
Yeah. Plus we can bring the mortars up and hit the buildings. Yeah, I think step one here is like we cut off the food and power and water and all that shit. Everything we can to the compound. Then we start sniping at their guys. When they huddle inside, we set up the mortars and fuck up their barracks and that kind of shit.
And then when the ordnance has been fired?
We may pull it back out and let them stew, or we could follow up immediately while they're disordered. Yeah. Which do you guys think? We blow the fuck out of them? Do we just rush in there and try to get our men, or pull back and let them freak out over the fact that they're getting picked off?
I mean, the more damage we cause over the longer period of time, the more likely killing
Reinforcements
fields
might
is gonna come down.
But yeah, maybe we don't want that. So you think just spend like a day or two just sniping them and then like assault like while they're weaker?
Yeah,
I think
probably.
now would probably be better than any other time.
Also, just skip the sniping and just go straight in.
Yeah, we'll set the mortars up. Have our sniper just from the shadows start opening up on them, and they can't locate us. They'll end up huddling inside, and we launch the mortars, and then everybody descends on the place.
Yeah, but the thing with mortars, they'll sort of kill anything they hit, and we want to get some of them alive.
Yeah, but there's areas we can focus on, like they have like a barracks in the parking lot that I imagine a lot of them will huddle up to. We can hit like the front gates.
Can we go back to like the map of the the farm so we can?
You've got a real-time surveillance, so there's no problem with that.
Okay, thanks. Where would the guardhouse be?
Okay. So what Neo just said a little bit there was kind of incorrect about there being a barracks at the front. There isn't really a barracks. These guys sleep in cars, vans, and stuff like that. This guard tower has always been there. It used to be a place where you'd, pay your ticket fees and shit like that. But it's been hardened to the position where it's I wouldn't call it a proper fort, but it's a fort that would probably hold up in the 8th century AD. It's 2 stories tall, open topped, mostly made of wood but reinforced with bricks and concrete. Like an unfinished building, right? Like a bedroom that doesn't have windows or carpet or paint or furniture or anything like that. It's just a hardened target, and most of the or a bunch of trolls sit in there. About 10 trolls sit in there at any one time. As mentioned, there was about 50, and you took out about 10. So let's just, for round figures, say there's 40 left. Of those 40, 10 will be in the guardhouse, 10 will be on patrol, and the other 20 will be sleeping, resting, whatever. There used to be 30 on patrol and 20 sleeping. You took out 10, and the numbers might not be accurate, but it doesn't matter. What does matter is that there's a hardened position at the front. there are a bunch of trolls sleeping in vans and cars and tents in the car park. There's somewhere between 10 and 15 on patrol, are about separated by about 100 meters each, 200 meters each. And this facility here is the headquarters.
So I think, do you say they sleep in their cars, don't you?
Yeah, vans and cars, that's right. It's not necessarily their cars. Much like at the airport, there's a whole bunch of abandoned cars here. Maybe they brought them in, maybe they were always here. I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, they do. They sleep in vehicles. They've ripped out the front seats of a sedan, and now they've just got a nice troll-sized, well, not very nice troll-sized bed. It's fucking uncomfortable, but it's a little bit better than sleeping on the bare concrete.
So I'm just sort of marking out places that I think would make good targets then for like the mortaring that would sort of not endanger any of the people we want to keep alive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So long as we get the mortars on platforms where we can, calculate the trajectory, we should be able to retarget them to wherever they run after we snipe. So
yeah, I mean, like, if it turns out none of them are in like one of the fields I parked, there's no point shooting there. But I think after like a day or two of sniping, like there'll be more people in like the tower.
Probably. Problem with putting them under like a day of sniping is they might somehow call for backup. I think it'd be best if we pick off as many of their guys as we can before they panic and run for cover, and when they do, we just open up the.
So we just start the assault silent, just sniping people until one of the people goes on the comms like, "Oh, people are getting sniped."
Yeah, basically, we pick off as many as we can before the alarm gets raised, and as many as we can while they're running for cover. And then once they all sort of huddle in and we don't have good shots anymore, we blow up the cover.
I'm not too good at impersonation, but I could try.
Impersonating what?
Like the dead trolls that we managed to snipe.
Oh. Yeah.
Like on the comms. I just keep up the illusion that everything's fine.
You guys remember that I had to blow up all their mini grenades to try to take one out, right?
These guys are in mil spec, but
and they're cybered, and they're trolls,
and they do drugs.
So the first one that gets sniped is gonna let everyone else know that something happened.
Yeah, good point. I forgot to add that.
I mean, because we have two snipers, can't we just double tap, like shoot both of you, shoot him in the head? Like that should kill him, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, potentially. There's no real rules for getting shot in the head at the same time. Like, you'd still...
Well, I mean, it's just two lots of damage. Two lots of a lot of damage.
Yeah, but the problem with hardened armor is if it's not enough damage, it's no damage.
And mechanically, it has to be one bullet, then the second bullet.
But would you have time to say something between the two bullets?
Well, I mean...
So sorry about that.
Mechanically, it's problematic.
Let me think of some things. I mean, we could always just, like, be bastards, and rather than beat the armor, beat the troll. Shit like sticky grenades, ultra glide, shit that, like, won't kill them, but will take them out of the fight without getting through their armor.
I mean, if that's easier.
Yeah, we just have a limited arsenal of stuff that can get through that weapon. It's basically like, the railgun, the 50 cal, and like a good shot from our Desert Strike. Fuck, there's a weapon. It's an exotic weapon.
I mean, otherwise, we can just try sneaking in.
Yeah, or we could infiltrate. It's an option. You know, and if shit goes wrong, we open up with the sniper fire and the grenades to disorient them while we snatch somebody who might know something and get the hell out.
So should we attempt to infiltrate and then use louder methods if that fails or if at some point goes sideways?
Yeah, that sounds like it could work. Like we set up like we're, gonna do an assault, like, stealthily, of course. Like we get everything in place, and then we send in our stealthiest combat guys to try to get as many targets as they can. Um, and when the alarm gets raised, we just make as much noise and chaos as possible uh, to cover our guys while they get out with what they can.
Sounds good. Hmm.
So we should probably work out then, like, who's going in and who we're going after and how.
Probably be death roll.
Probably, yeah. Chef's hostile and death roll's at least self-serving.
I was gonna say.
And he
I might
looks
be able
cool
to,
like this.
Like, chef's gonna be a fucking pain in the ass to try to subdue.
Yeah, I mean, so will Killer Croc, I imagine.
I mean, I thought Killer Croc was mainly Surge. Chef cybered to shit.
Nice.
Data jack, skill jack, internal smart gun, comlink, muscle replacement, bone lacing, wild reflexes. That's old stuff, so you might have more.
And that's outdated records. So guarantee he's got some new shit. Yeah. I mean, a guy like this, if he is a drug fiend, the one thing we know he shouldn't have then is immunity to toxins. So Narcojet should at least be a potential for him. May take like more than one dose, but he's an animal. It's tranquilizer. Yeah, especially if we get the jump on him. Our guys can trank the shit out of him. Try to get out of there. And if the alarm isn't raised, maybe we can get greedy and go back for seconds. Maybe get our monkey man.
Do we have comms for him?
I think he's a hostage, so he may not have a phone, but
we can call the last comlink we had for him.
Prisoner,
I'm pretty sure he gave us like his old number.
So what if we did that first? Made contact with him first.
I doubt he'll pick up, but we can try like getting in contact using like the last comlink we used with him.
Well, no, not that. I mean, what if we infiltrate and get him? You know what I mean? Like, he's an intelligent being. He's been working there the whole time, and he's integral to what they've been doing.
Yeah, but do you think they're telling him everything? Like, there's a lot he picked up, but it'd be much better to get someone who actually knows shit.
Yeah, and if we're going to assault the base, no matter what, if he's a prisoner, like he's going to be in the base, like he's going to be like a non-combatant within the base.
But our problem is there's a bunch of shit in the base we don't know, right? And he would be a willing participant in getting our intel and possibly filling in some of those gaps.
Yeah, that's why I think he'd be a good bonus, I think he'd know less than either Chef or Death Roll, but I think he'd be much more willing to tell it to us. So I'd prefer to get one of the two people who really know something, because we can either interrogate or mind probe them to get useful info. And if we get the opportunity, we can go back to rescue the willing hostage or the willing extractee.
So I guess who's infiltrating? Like,
I think my character has the best ability at that, though it's not especially great.
I got like 11 dice or something.
With my chameleon suit, I think I have 19.
Not hearing any other takers. Guess we're good to start? Or do we need to clear up more stuff?
Does what's your character do again? Like, what's he good at?
Being a fucking horse with bridle and armor. I had a decent concept lined up, but then that kind of fell through. So
see.
now I just defaulted to, hey, I'm a dude with a gun. So sorry.
so if stuff kicks off, he'll be good for like an actual assault.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, if anything, he can just like stand in front and then just hope that everyone behind him just makes
Because
everything that's.
there's one thing we could do is we could do like an assault in the front and have Trey like silently like kidnapping people in the back.
Yeah, that should work.
So stuff seems like it's going to go down, but Trey hasn't been spotted yet. We could just like kick off an assault and like have them be distracted while he like gets the targets out.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I do have a question though.
Go ahead.
Does an armor rating of 20 mean anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
All
good.
right. Okay.
My idea is if he's just about to get spotted, we should probably like start just bombing like the two like heavy guard areas and then like just assault.
Yeah. Yeah, I should be able to. Let me double check a range table. Okay, yeah.
But I'm guessing Trey's probably going to come from like this sort of direction because that's where all the main buildings are. Like,
Yeah. Trey, do you use a light pistol or anything? Or rather, do you use a pistol?
Automatics are my big thing, but I can use a pistol.
Maybe better off than with capsule rounds. I got some loaded with narco jet for my sidearm, but yeah, I'm probably not going to use in this campaign.
And those are for a pistol?
Yeah, light pistol. I could probably just lend you the light pistol if you don't have one.
I do not.
Alright, yeah, it's Ares Lightfire 70 with the smart gun, quick draw holster, and silencer.
Just when the time comes to use that, speed me what I need to roll.
Cool.
Or,
Yeah, it's a light pistol. If you hit, it's DMSO and narco jet.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I don't even have to worry about it. I just have to roll my skill. Cool.
And last, if it comes to an assault, like where are we gonna, like where's like the main like loud assault gonna come from?
That's a good question. Might be fun. I won't be in it, so there's a potential risk to it. But we could put the steam in the van and have them like submarine into the middle of the place because the river connects from the looks of it.
And just sort of
Oh,
come
no,
up
it
in the
doesn't.
middle of like number 5 and just start shooting people.
Yeah, literally just surface in the middle of the place, but I don't think that's possible.
I mean, you telling me your tank can't tunnel through the ground?
I didn't get the drill mod, okay?
Could we use an Earth Spirit for that, like to create a tunnel?
Yeah. Do we want to go for this? Do we want to try to tunnel the van underneath the fucking base so we could pop out like the mole people invading?
Hey,
Because I'm 1,000% down for that.
So some sort of like
Alright.
there to there.
ultimately, Trey
that'll
just wants to kill commies. So, how we get from where we are, killing commies, he doesn't really care, just as long as it happens.
All right. So yeah, team will.
But the thing is, like, you're on the keeping the commie alive part of the mission. Because you're the kidnapper.
Yeah, the stealth team can go in for their mission. And everybody else can either position themselves for sniper support or be in the van, which we can like park submersed in the bottom of the river. And when the time comes and shit hits the fan, I guess we can use an Earth Spirit to cut a little channel. It's about 100 meters. That might take a while unless you call up a big ass fucking Earth Spirit. But we can then surface the van in the middle of the place. Well, in the middle of the crocodile enclosure from the looks of it, which may be
I
hazardous.
misspelled assault.
I've
It's
started-
making me sad.
Yeah. I'm starting to think that may not be a fantastic idea. How long does it take to train to rating 1 in a skill? I should know this, but
Might be on a cheat sheet, but I don't know.
yeah, let me
It's like a day or
fucking
two.
look it up.
Sounds about right. 2 days probably.
We could take some skydiving lessons and fucking parachute in.
I think we'll just get shot in the air.
I already got that skill, I think.
Yeah, well, we could halo drop. Yeah. But, yeah, do it at night or something. I mean, they got thermals. Probably a bad
Well,
idea, too.
I think
I'm trying to make this cinematic.
the mortars are on the tank, aren't they?
I got some grenade launchers on the tank, but the mortars are their own things. Actually, we looted a couple mortars from the airport.
And are they
you can
automatic?
put them on smart firing platforms, and not by themselves, but I can make them automatic.
Because I think if stuff goes down, like we can have, like you come out of the pool as like the mortars strike like the people resting, and that'll create like a lot of chaos, and Trey will be able to like really easily do his whatever he needs to do unimpeded.
Yeah. To be honest, coming out of the pool is probably overkill, and like be a lot simpler to just surface in the river and drive through the wall.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to do
order
the
to get
tunnel.
Yeah. I love the fucking image in Discord, like the bullet drill, but yeah. But in principle, yeah, like right as the border hit, the fucking party bus emerges, starts opening it up with its own grenade launchers, machine guns,
And
maybe Flash or someone in the bushes starts popping people off with sniper rounds. The plane swoops in from above and strafes. Middle of that, nobody's gonna notice. Say flat or
it's like
Trey
Red
and
October
Shadow,
goes missing in the middle of this raid. I don't think anyone will care.
Yeah, like you're gonna be in the middle of Takashi's fucking symphony, the one with the cannon. I can't remember the name of it.
Does Trey have like restraints?
Of what?
Like what people restraints, like handcuffs, stuff like that, like chain.
The plan is we're gonna drug him.
And that'll keep them out for hours.
Yeah, until he heals the stun damage off, which is at least an hour. Yeah. Only concern there is if there's some miscalculation, like maybe he's kicked his drug habit and gotten something that makes him immune to toxins, but it should. We can always give a bunch of
because we have newer information than the bios from Bwang, and when she heard of him, he was still doing drugs.
Okay, then yeah, should be good there.
I can imagine like a conversation where like the guy's like, "Oh, we can make you immune to toxins," and the guy's like, "Can I still take coke?" He's like, "No, you'll be immune." He's like, "No, I don't want it then."
That probably happens quite a bit in
You
the
make
sixth world.
You make that sound like it's controversial. I'm like, I mean, what would life be like without intoxicants at all? If you couldn't drink tea or alcohol or enjoy a cigarette? I don't know. Would you just get high on life? Who does that?
I mean, I suppose you'd be happy the day like someone tries to poison you.
I guess so. Maybe. Probably,
You'll
you'd
end
probably
up
still be
like,
pretty upset because I'd feel like a drinker after getting poisoned. So I don't know.
I
Maybe
can't
not.
remember the famous king who was so paranoid that he deliberately dosed himself with small amounts of like every poison he could find every day.
I think it was just one type of poison.
Up an immunity.
Yeah. Is that the same guy that like only ate apples?
I have no idea, but there's
Right,
something
anyway.
like at the end of his life, he was like being chased by enemies and tried to kill himself with poison, but it didn't work.
Oh no, this dude, like, he was so paranoid about being poisoned. Like, it might have been a Roman emperor, actually. Yeah, it might have been one of the Roman emperors. They only ate apples, and so they just went and poisoned the fucking apples on the tree without even harvesting. Just went and poisoned it on the tree.
I'm assuming there's not going to be any suicide plays today, though, right?
Possibly. It's a fair assumption, but you never know. Anyway, so how much closer are we to our final plan? Trey knows what he's doing. That's one person.
Yeah. Shadow, are you going in with Trey?
I could either go in with Trey or sit back and snipe. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, just in case something goes wrong, I'd prefer if Trey weren't solo, buddy system and all.
Yeah, I can go in with him then.
Yeah, unless Trey thinks you'll cramp his style, but yeah, be better to have two, especially if you get the opportunity to stay or to say like snatch the monkey as well. But okay, through our surveillance, have we worked out where Death Roll's quarters are?
That's not a question for me, is it?
I think it is.
It was, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Have you ascertained? No, I don't think you've ascertained a thing. No, you don't even know what the you have no idea what the inside of the main facility looks like, or whether there's a place to be stationed underneath the stadium, or if there's an underground complex. You got no idea.
We did, like early on when we were considering just blowing this place up, we did surveillance to figure out where everybody went at night. I just
Yep.
don't remember what.
Yep, no, that's a good point.
Thing was.
And also, yep. And when you were like waiting to for the dudes to for him to pop up Mahu, at 6 a.m. he walked down here, walked up here, went and had a cigarette. He used to do that at twilight and at dusk every day, but he hasn't been doing it since someone fucking shot him.
I mean, it's probably a good idea.
He normally hangs out at the Croc Museum.
I mean, that is a
the
good place for him to hang
administration
out.
building, whatever you want to call this central facility. It's really the only building in the entire place. Like there are sheds and there are back areas like all zoos have. Kiosks. Here's a little kiosk, but this is the facility that you find at every single freaking amusement park you've ever been to, whether it's Disneyland or some, Joker's little crocodile farm. They've all got the same setup, right? You walk in here, you pay your tickets here, there's a canteen there, and when you walk out, that's where all the merchandising is. You've got to go past the merchandising to get out of here. Yeah. So
I mean,
they're all the same.
Why would you leave without buying a little like plush like crocodile? I guess you're laughing at my terribly hilarious joke.
I'm trying to find where Trey is because he should be on the croc farm. It looks like everyone's on the croc farm to me.
I refreshed Roll20. My
okay.
for some reason at fault.
Yeah, no. Say no more. It's Roll20's fault.
I guess we'll have the snipers like somewhere like I guess here, because then they can have like a good like I guess overview of like where Trey is and where we'll be. Yeah, 600 meters is good for a sniper, isn't it?
Yeah, it's well within range.
I guess we'll set the mortars off somewhere off map.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like 2 kilometers away or something like that. That's fine.
Do you need?
Yeah.
Do you have everything you need to make them like automatic?
Yeah, need to get 3 smart firing platforms.
How much ammunition have you got that you can have automatic mortars? Like, yeah, how much ammunition have you got?
Only 9 rounds between the 3 mortars.
Okay.
So just gonna basically rig up a tube so that like I can drop one in after the next. Like crude sort of system to dial it around and
Because like we're only like shooting at a very specific place in the base.
Yeah, that's right.
Can the
Let
smart
me double check how
firing
much it costs.
platform reload them?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think I need an ammo bin too.
And some kind of feed as well.
All right, that's what it's
right.
like considered part of the system.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's certainly something a robot could achieve with the right sort of programming, but it's but yeah, you can't preload a bunch of them at once.
Just put 3
Yeah.
of them in the bow.
That's
That's
it.
how it works.
And until Utah pointed it out, that's I guess that's what I was thinking. Just didn't consider it at all.
So I suppose will these be easy to find?
No, no, it's they don't like you'd have to something you have to build yourself. I imagine.
They're 12F, but I'm probably gonna build my own. But still, the parts are expensive. At least they're gonna run me 2K a piece.
Okay.
Does anybody object to me dipping into the war chest for this?
No, I don't. I mean, this like the biggest assault of the campaign. I think it's sort of necessary.
All right, cool. So 3 smart firing platforms, 3 ammo bins, which is another 600. So 6,600 total.
All right. So I don't think that you're going to have a trouble doing it as long as you've got the time.
Yeah, it's technically a weapon mod, so actually, if you wouldn't mind giving me some help, Ricochet, you got some armory skills, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead and roll the
fucking
dice
weapon modules.
to try to work out mostly how long it takes, since I'm sure you're going to be able to do it. I just imagine it'd be either a spring-loaded system or perhaps an arm that deposits it in there, much like a human does.
Yeah,
Can you
Yeah,
that's
add
what I'm kind of
robotic
picturing.
arm.
Is like a secondary little tube, like and just on a trigger, it sort of just lets a mortar slide out, and due to the angle, it just drops right into the
Drops it
mortar
in.
barrel.
See how torpedoes are loaded on subs, I think. I'm not sure of that, but I think that's how it works.
Can you edge teamwork tests?
No idea.
I think only one roll, I'm pretty sure.
Edge only applies to 1 roll, yeah.
Yeah, so you couldn't. I'm not sure of that, but I think that's how it works. So people tend to save it for like right at the very end, or perhaps use it right at the very start.
I'm going to edge the first one.
Yeah, sure. It's mathematically the best idea.
So that's 4 extra dice for you. I think that's how it works, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I've literally so many goddamn sheets open.
It doesn't matter. We'll get through it.
I guess while he's doing that, that guy who couldn't poison himself, he knew the languages of all 22 nations he governed.
Hardcore. What a legend. So there's a few good rulers out there, I guess. Okay, yeah, so keep going. You're getting there. Closer. And you've done it. All right, so you've rigged up your little device. They're like a hour each for each test, so the whole thing gets done in the best part of a day's work. It's still only been about 3, maybe 4 days since we initially hit the compound, so they've had a bit of time to consolidate or change plans or do whatever what it takes. But in those 3, 4, 5, I don't know, maybe 6 days since we initially hit it, we've managed to kill their sniper as well. So, and the place is also under constant surveillance. Ultimately, we knows what goes in, what goes out. Most of what goes in is fish. Most of what comes out is bugger all. That's pretty much the be all and end all of it. They're no longer calling Dial a prostitute. So the place is, I suppose, on lockdown. It's under siege in a way, or it will be soon.
Yeah. Okay, so we got the mortar set up. We got a sniper post picked out. We got the 2 guys we're gonna send in. Got the narco jet rounds. I assume one of you has stick and shock just in case, right?
I do not.
I have stick and shock, but I think it's for pistol if you want that too.
Have you got any stick and shock, Shadow?
Nope.
Yeah, it is. I have 20 stick and shock for light pistols.
I have the same, but for heavy.
So, Trey, did you want that?
Nah. He'll either take the one guy alive or start dropping bodies.
All right. Just remember, the whole point of this is to get someone we can question.
He took the narco rounds, didn't he?
Fair enough.
I got gel rounds if you want.
We might as well take more than one option in case like one of them is ineffective.
That's what the explosive rounds are for. The narco is ineffective.
May I ask a quick question?
Of course, man.
What is the point of like flechette rounds? Like either stick and shock or just the normal ones?
Hollow points are generally used on people who have no armor. That's correct, right? Is that right?
Flechette rounds are like shotgun rounds, technically. They're like
Okay.
slivers that they're designed to be used against people who aren't wearing armor. They actually increase the damage of your attack, but they also increase the person you're shooting's armor if they're wearing any. So,
All right then.
if you're shooting civilians per se, for example, or just people not wearing armor, it's fantastic because it's free damage, but it's not good against armor. Stick and shock switches your damage type from lethal to non-lethal, physical to stun. They hit the target and then tase the shit out of them. So they also do electric damage and a lot of armor piercing because it's hard to resist getting tased.
Hollow points flechettes as well.
No.
They're
Right.
similar function but different stats.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other main thing with flechettes is if you put them in a shotgun, they are literally shotgun rounds. So they'll do like the big spread, whereas a hollow point would be a solid hollow point slug.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Yeah. There's no buckshot on a hollow point, all right.
Yeah. One of hollow points is that when they hit something, they like balloon outward to cause a bigger impact. Okay, yeah, so we got our equipment in order. So if we're going after Death Roll and he's usually in the admin building, first of all, it seems like almost everybody is in the admin building, so it may be worth just trying to jump all these guys at the same time.
Or like with those stun grenades.
Yeah, just throw some flashbangs in there. Hit all of them with tranks. Just get as many of them as we can because they all are in the same place.
Because I imagine Godfather's a few stun grenades. Like, does Trey have any?
Yeah, I mean, technical problem there is I have mini grenades, so they're technically only meant to be fired from a grenade launcher.
Trey still has 8 flashbangs.
That's a good amount of flashbangs.
Yeah. You pull the pins on 8 of them, throw them in the room, and kill everybody in there.
It's pretty much what we did with the airport control tower.
Yeah, I mean, 8 instances of 12 stun damage, though, would basically kill everybody.
Well, I mean, 4
Just
will probably do the job
explode
there.
their eardrums or something.
Or is 4 still on the lethal territory?
Anyway, yeah, we got the equipment to
Yeah, like
deal with people in the
we
building.
have the technology to take these people.
Yeah, in essence, like as you remind me a bit now of the fucking biker raid from the XYZ, which makes me worried now. There's a nuke in this place somewhere.
Trey's
I
ready
mean,
to die.
there's no point getting worried about a nuke because if there's one, there's not. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. And if there isn't,
Most of
we
the
can be
nukes
worried
in
for nothing.
Shadowrun don't really work very well.
That's some Buddhist shit you got right there, Fenway. I think you've been talking to Wang for too long.
Am I a secret communist?
you have
He's been compromised.
Who knows?
Buddhist communists who can tell the difference these days.
Yeah.
And I'll have you know that's ancient Greek
So-
stoicism, so it's not even. Wait, who's got a car?
Construction, yeah.
It's annoying, isn't it? Well, I think the plan is about as good as it's ever going to be.
Yeah, about.
I think you're right.
Yeah. I'll put the van in the woods in the top end of the map so that I can swoop in and pick up the guys at the fence. You know, meanwhile the plane will be strafing, bombs will be going off, snipers will be, picking off anybody.
Also,
they
we're not
can.
assaulting we're not having an assault team near the bottom to like cause a distraction.
Having the assault team where?
I thought so down at the bottom. So we're going to have like us just at the top, like just as like placed, I guess, a forward operating base to like keep all the people we've kidnapped.
Yeah, essentially. Is Yeah, because everybody is basically in that admin building as far as I can tell, or at least most of the leadership. So there's a good chance that we'll end up encountering all of them, and if that happens, 90% chance the alarm goes off.
Okay, so I moved the main
so-
assault to an exfil zone near the top, and that's where.
Yeah. So once the alarm goes off, the goal of the rest of the team will be to basically keep the trolls focused on anything but going to help the admin building.
Or start sniping people around like in a relevant part of the base to make it seem that an assault's going to happen there soon.
Well, I think it might be more effective to make it clear that anybody who is near the admin building dies.
Okay, that's probably a better idea. Because we also run the risk if we do that, like of them all 30 of them just rushing into the building.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we can, especially if, let me check the range here. Okay, yeah. Like, there's like 20 trolls between the parking lot and the guardhouse. So long as most of them are still there when the alarm goes off, we can immediately hit them with 3 mortars, and I can roll the van up and probably launch 2 more HE grenades in over the building, which would at least really fucking disorient them.
I suppose. Could you carry an alligator person, Trey? I assume you can.
Probably.
Okay.
If not, I'll hack parts of them off to make them lighter.
I made him compact.
But I like it. All right, so we've agreed that there will be a sniper, there will be mortars, and there will be an assault team.
Yeah, and I'll sort of label them on the map. I guess we can put our
There will
tokens.
also be someone infiltrating.
Yeah, Trey. I suppose we can put our like tokens by like the little labels so we can know who's doing what.
Right.
technically not going to be in the party bus for this. Probably, I'm probably going to be in our lovely new smuggler craft for air support. But I should be able to bring the party bus in.
Sounds good.
Can I put a little air support like one down as well then?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm muted. Fucking silly me. All right. How do we get Trey and Shadow into position? It's a long way to walk under the heavy machine gun fire.
Sorry to ask this, but how do I put down a token?
You drag like your name. If you click and hold and drag your name onto the field.
From out of the character list.
Yeah.
Yeah, under runners.
Yeah, remind me to pull one of you guys aside to help me just kind of clear that up, because I have not made a, like, under the runners tab. I'm still working on that one.
No worries. Have you picked a picture? As if not, I'll just assign generic picture number X to you. No picture?
Yeah, screw it, I'm gonna grab shivs.
Perfect.
Or not.
So you can go into Asig Fripp and edit them and add their picture, and that'll become you.
And you can change their name as well.
I wouldn't bother filling out the stats. I don't do it for NPCs, so I wouldn't bother if I were you, but you certainly can if you can find someone to give it the time. If I was you, I'd just like look at Chummer and roll the dice accordingly from that. Just a moment. I'll be back in a second. Sorry, the construction work. I thought maybe it was someone knocking at the door. I really didn't think so, but I had to check anyway. So how are we going to inject these guys into position? As you can see, there's a big heavy troll presence. They can fire half a kilometre with their machine guns. So yeah, how are you going to get the infiltrators into position?
Well, from the look of it, there's about a 200-meter gap between them. Wait till nightfall, go in maybe under thermal cloaks.
Mm-hmm. And just walk in, like sneak in, crawl.
Yeah, just full on ghillie suit. No thermal signature. So it's I think they'd be able to creep past a couple guards.
All right, so that we can get ourselves set up for next week, since we're approaching the end of the episode already. You guys who are infiltrating, and I think it's only the pair of you. Is there any special precautions, any special process? Or are you just Viet Conging it through the swamp?
I suppose they could like wait for a like swap in the guard patrol, but it's probably a bit more precise than like than like the guard swapping.
This seems like then there'd be twice as many guards out there. Best time would be to go like an hour, but you don't know how long it's going to take you to traverse all that. So, in my mind, the thing to do would be just to, get in position, get ready to belly crawl. My suit's as maxed out as you can make a sneaking suit.
What if we wait until they send out for hose and then go in there?
They haven't done
they
that in the
stopped doing
past
that.
5 or 6 days. Yeah.
Well,
No, they might do it tonight.
Yeah, they might only do it once a week. So
Exactly. I mean, come on, the guy's 40 years old, kids. He might only need it once a week. Sorry.
we can wait and see. Or
He's a professional athlete.
They're
Probably.
staying inside
Oh.
most of the time because they're under sniper fire. I don't think they're dialing up whores
why not?
because they're under siege.
So, are we going to shoot the whores off their motorcycles?
Probably,
Yes.
yeah. Deny the morale.
And teach those dirty whores not to
Alright.
comment.
Are we just crawling? Fuck it.
All right.
I think we stopped fighting communists like ages ago. Like these are just capitalists at this point. Like who in there is an actual communist?
All the communists are dead. So,
All the communists are dead.
Like
or
They're
in
about
their
to be.
jails. So.
the only
At this stage,
communist,
it's just Shadowrunner versus Shadowrunner.
the only communist
we've
still in
literally
there is
Killed
Red
all
Oct.
their communist
Yeah,
loyalists.
the only
we've
communist
killed all the
is Red
communists.
October.
There
That
might be
died
some.
vote.
There might be some communists left, but if so, they're in Trey's child soldier army.
Yeah, exactly.
If any of those
True.
don't fucking convert over, I'll cry.
Well,
But I'll
they
hold
think
the
they
other
convert.
head.
They think they convert, but they're all about the group, the gang. They're all about shared responsibility. They're all about looking after each other, and each provides what's that thing Mark said? Each unto their own ability or something.
From each according
Yeah.
to their ability to each according to
Nope,
their need.
fuck that. I'm running that like a fucking.
Fuck that.
It hasn't.
Be
Yeah,
each
it's
to his own that Trey assigns them.
it's been very communist so far in that army. There hasn't been any class-based
Yes, what? This has been
promotions. There
very
hasn't been any struggle or competition to earn rewards.
Shadow sees it.
That's not
Shadow
true.
sees it.
You haven't
It's a,
issued a special corp script to them so they can buy their ammo. You give it to them freely.
That's not true either.
Is Trey
They were issued.
is Trey the secret communist?
they even
Yeah,
live in a
absolutely.
place called the Commune. Isn't that what we call that
Mhm.
place? It's
The compound.
the compound.
Also, the first people to get firearms were the kids that brought the most rat skulls.
Yeah, the
So that
kids
was
who would
merit
prove their
based.
most. It was very Ayn Randy and objectivist, actually.
Yeah,
The kids who
everything was
contributed the most
merit-based.
received the most.
Well, they were promoted to positions of leadership to train the other kids,
I don't know.
and they've been getting strict 1980s American Rambo style indoctrination. as far as
That they have,
and
like
government.
they have no doubt that it's better to be red than dead. It's just that their philosophy is Surprisingly communist. It's like one of those Republicans that thinks that they're like all about freedom and liberty, but all they really want is the government to take control of everyone else's lives except for theirs.
Exactly.
That sounds like every Republican or Democrat I've ever talked to.
Probably.
That's like listening to farmers talk about, the stand up on your own 2 feet. American farmer.
Yeah.
God fucking help you if you talk about, so you guys are willing to give up farm subsidies, then, right?
Oh, no. And how did you get your farm? Well, it was my father's and his father's. Oh, so you've just inherited your wealth. Okay. Yeah, all right, enough of that. Enough of that. So you guys are crawling in there on your elbows and knees. This part over here, it's swampy ground, but you won't be submerged at any stage. You'll be wet virtually the whole way, but you won't be actually submerged. It's mostly grassland, not a lot of rice on this side, mostly tufts of thick, sturdy grass. Okay, but you're ready to go. You're as hidden as you can be. You're sure that they don't know that you're here yet. You've got a surveillance plane high up in high altitude, keeping an eye on you. That's our surveillance plane. Any final words?
Do we want to load the party wagon with Trey's child soldiers?
No, definitely not.
Aw.
Like, Trey's all about
Fine.
saving these kids and making them self-sufficient. He's not sending a bunch of kids out on a fucking live op.
You insist they're
there's
your
any-
project.
Clockwork like accidents or mix-ups, he will handle it poorly.
He's a big daddy now. He's a big daddy. He's got a big mama. Like Trey's well abused Chase. He's gone from being just some cloned fucking freak to being, the savior.
He's a family man.
He's
a
new
little family out of 20 abused child soldiers and a fucking kitsune.
He's the new clockwork.
I have weaved out.
You have. It's quite sweet, to be honest.
I just
Quite
need
sweet.
a monofilament katana.
You do need that. It's a bit of an oversight now that you mention it.
And some kind of man bun.
Can you get a snake tattoo, like a really big one? All the bad guys have those things. All right.
Because it shows how deceptive they are.
Yeah. I didn't hear that.
No, I was saying it lets everyone know how deceptive they are.
Exactly right. You're a bad motherfucker. Women know that they can't trust you, therefore they will flock to you. All right. So you guys who are doing the infiltration, any final actions, any final considerations, or do we get to our stealth rolls?
I just get to the stealth rolls.
Done. I guess you can make a perception check as well. You're obviously going to have your senses about you, your wits about you, so it seems just logical to take care of that. How close are you to each other in your approach? 2 meters, 12 meters?
I was probably more like 50.
50 meters? Yeah, sure. That's fine. Like it's a lot of ground to cover, right? So there's no reason why you couldn't do it. Okay, cool. So shadow perception 2, not bad. Make your sneaking check. And Trey, make your perception check since your sneaking's pretty good. All right, brilliant.
I'm gonna edge my sneaking for even more sneaky.
Great idea.
Fuck. Yeah, I guess I'll do the same thing with
7 hits on sneaking.
Okay, that's brilliant.
I'm just gonna re-roll that.
Go ahead.
horn.
Ooh, perception of 2. All right. And what would the threshold? I'm going to turn to our home audience and ask what you guys think the threshold for a mine would be. Would it be 3?
To detect a buried mine.
Yeah, while you're on the ground crawling, like the conditions for them to find it are good, right? Like your nose is to the ground, you're moving slowly. It's not like you're driving in a fucking motorcycle. Yeah.
It should be a bit on the lower side or more
Are we
reasonable
talking
side.
like a buried mine, or
That's right, a buried mine, yeah, like 4 inches, 6 inches, whatever the logical depth is. They know what they're doing, obviously. Special forces.
I mean, like, is it just a block of C4 with a pressure trigger on it, or is it like a claymore? Or
It's a grenade that has been, claymore. It's not a proper mine. Oh, it would be a proper mine. I suppose I should make a decision. It's the damage will be as a high explosive grenade. As I'd thought about it, it was going to be just one of the trolls' grenades that has been rigged with a pressure plate, something like that. I'm not that knowledgeable of explosives, but then again, these guys they've got no shortage of fucking mines. Like the Khmer Rouge have always had bulk mines, so it's an anti-personnel landmine designed to stop exactly this. It's not going to take out the vehicle, no fucking way. At least not our vehicle. So instead, it's really designed to stop infiltrators coming up the rear, which is relatively unprotected, and reaching the main facility. So it's doing its job.
Right.
Looking up pressure sensors.
So I reckon perception 3 sounds about right, but maybe I could give the characters an extra 2 dice since circumstance, since their nose is to the ground.
Because like 3's like the standard amount, isn't it, for like a threshold?
3 is pretty standard, right?
Noticing a pressure pad is a perception test, threshold 3 for a pad.
Makes
If
sense.
a character steps on a pad, however, it's more apparent. Reduce the threshold by 2, but by then it's usually too late. After a character steps on the measure pad, after the character steps on the measure pad, a second perception test should be rolled. Threshold 1 for pads, threshold 3 for mesh. If successful, the character can attempt to remove the pressure before it exceeds the device's weight allowance. This is very difficult, requiring a reaction plus intuition test.
All right, so let's start by giving each of you an extra 2 dice on your perception check. Since your nose is to the ground, you might be able to pick it up before it happens. That's a fail. That's also a fail. All right. Now the pair of you can both roll however many edge dice you've got, like your proper edge stat. Roll that many edge, just to see who's lucky and who's not.
1.
1. And Trey? Also 1. All right. Who has the higher edge stat?
We'll have the same.
Both have the
Is
same.
it
All right.
round 2?
Reaction. Who has the highest reaction stat?
Mine's 6.
Trey?
I am at 8.
Oh, shit. All right. So Shadow, you have you feel the mud give way, and you push onto something as hard as a rock, but rocks don't go click. You've clicked it, and the pressure is now applied. I guess you have to make your reaction intuition test.
Yeah, and your body's a negative dice pool modifier.
God damn it! Oh, well, in this case it won't be because you're not applying your body. That would be your weight, right? And she hasn't put any weight on it except for her hands. So ignore the body part.
Nope.
That's not quite enough, is it?
No, it's not.
All right. 16 P damage.
Can you edge that one?
I actually have a quick question.
I could, but I'm not.
You're gonna eat a grenade during the infiltration?
Yep.
Oh damn. I do actually have a bit of a question. As far as triggering mines go, like is it like the moment that that it contacts, like, or is it like on the pull up?
Yes, the pull up.
Oh damn.
Everything.
All right, so you soaked 12 of 16?
Yeah.
Brilliant. I think, oh man.
Any
I think
AP
that'll blow
on
your
this
hand
at
off,
all,
won't it?
or
I think they're
Yeah.
what is the AP of these things? Like 4 or something, isn't it?
2.
2. Okay,
Two.
it's only 2.
Oh. So I should. That would reduce it by 1, so 11. So I take 5 physical. I'll
5
edge
physical
this,
to 1. Yeah. Yep. Cool. Yep.
Okay, so that's 17 that I soak.
You soak 17.
Uh-huh.
And the damage is only 16, so it should have blown off your hand, but instead all it does is blow off the armor around your palm, and you can see your blistering hand underneath. Sore, but essentially unharmed.
I
Yep,
would
yep.
be extremely shocked if my hand is blistering and painful, considering
all
it's
right.
cyber arm.
You've already got
Oh,
cyber arms, have you?
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right. Okay, that is unusual then. More like scorched and
Actually,
twitchy.
I only have 1 cyber arm, so there is 1 arm that could be, yeah.
50-50. On a 1 it's the good arm, on a 2 it's a cyber arm. On a 1 it's a flesh arm, on a 2 it's the cyber arm. All right, it's a flesh arm.
Okay, so there's blisters, maybe, yeah.
There is
true.
maybe if science says there would be, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But what there is, what was that? Sorry.
If there's heat, there could be for sure. Yeah.
Well, I guess the
That's
alarm
right,
goes
I
off
think
at this
it-
point now.
Yeah, that's right. The alarm goes off, and we and so yeah, you kickstart the assault, but we can wait for that until next week.
Okay, goodbye, internet.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Farewell, internet.
For karma, everyone.
Hello, guys.